got mine.
Okay, read it out.
Una manos. In high school, she was into everything. If it required research, it was her bag. Till she took AP Chemistry, her first B ever outside of gym class. It was something that wasn't easy, so she dove into it wholeheartedly. It became her passion.
Okay. So let's melt that down to a phrase and make that her aspect. What does everyone think? You can feel free to chime in too. It doesn't have to be someone else who defines it.
Maybe like determined.
Well, it sounds like chemistry needs to be involved in it as well.
Okay.
Well, that is her high concept, is better living through chemistry.
Okay. It sounds like she really likes challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Like she seeks it out, pursues it
Yeah, I was gonna
actively, and
say.
wants to kick it in the teeth.
So
Passionately challenged, yeah.
passionately challenged / bored easily.
Yeah.
That works.
Because if it's not challenging, she's not interested.
That makes sense to me.
You think taking down a corporation will be interesting enough?
It certainly will be a challenge.
If we decide to go that way, anyway.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyone else ready?
I could go.
Shoot.
So Jacqueline, the phrase I use is quick with a smile, fast with a sleight of hand. Came from a large and distracted family, caught up in a lot of the bells and whistles that dystopian future has to offer. Latchkey kid who learned early on that she needed to fend for herself and how to fend for herself. Unfortunately, so is able to do so. Unfortunately, this has also led to a lot of her reactive attachment disorder issues. She doesn't form regular bonds well. Deep relationships are casual to her. Casual relationships are misinterpreted.
Okay.
But fortunately for her, she had the looks and naturally sociopathic abilities to fall in, so to speak, into corporate espionage. The first time that it ever happened was accidental, and she discovered how easy this was, that it became a thing.
Okay.
So her high concept is corporate espionage specialist, trouble, reactive attachment disorder. I'm sorry.
So kind of what we do now is distill that background into a phrase that kind of really defines the character.
Okay.
And it should be something different than the top two, a different aspect of her character, rather than, it shouldn't be something else that reiterates espionage. It should be something different about her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, the fact that bonds is difficult, bonding is very difficult for her, could be an interesting one because it has a downside, but it also has a huge upside. And what you do as an espionage specialist, you don't want to get attached. Attachment is the first thing that'll get you killed. So, actually, that could be it. Attachment is the first thing that will get you killed. Is a perfectly good example if you want to go with that.
And you're saying that from a description or an aspect?
That would be your third aspect.
Okay. Wait. Everyone has a price in here as an aspect.
I think that's more of a catchphrase of yours.
You said to put it as an aspect.
You can put it as another one.
Okay. So what did you say to put down for an aspect?
Attachments get people killed.
Oh,
something like that. Aspects change a lot. You'll have the opportunity to shift these as time goes on, as your character develops.
I think that's a better description of your trouble.
I feel like fatal attraction would be a great.
That works.
Yeah.
Fatal Attraction, not just a movie.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I think my guy, his parents were from that sort of like purist faction, which meant he grew up more impoverished. His family didn't have as many opportunities as everyone else, but it also meant that he was born sort of off the grid, which let him lie and cheat and steal his way to getting like an okay position in life, where he continues to lie and cheat and steal because he doesn't want to go back to that kind of life.
That makes sense. Okay. How do we distill that down for him into a phrase?
Flying under the radar.
That's a pretty good one.
Yes, pretty dang good.
Durfee, are you ready with yours?
I think so.
All right. Let's
All
hear it.
right. So his relatives pushed him to working with computers despite his desire to work with people. He has lived his entire life, or he has lied to himself his entire life using the term "do it for us." It always comes back to haunt him. He has given up on the hope of that dream and now mindlessly chugs through code and life and code alike. He tends to be a workaholic as there's nothing else in life for him, or so he thinks.
Or so.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. What do we think about that?
There must be more than this provincial life. I've seen Disney.
You are a mom.
I want adventure in
Oh my.
Oh, God.
somewhere.
All right.
But the Emma Watson
Stop.
version.
Please stop. Okay.
Watson version.
So much.
I honestly though
I had
like,
something until she started singing.
I want
honestly,
so
and then
much
it
more than they've
I
got
like-
planned. It does kind of.
I like the idea of emphasizing the conflict between your family's desire for you to go into computer skills and your desire to go into people skills.
Mother doesn't always know best.
That could be it if you want to go that route.
I mean, it's wrong.
Is he
but-
still following what his family has wanted him to do?
Pretty much, yeah.
So,
Until we meet and stuff, and then you guys like convince him or something. I don't know. We'll have to decide that later.
Yeah.
Family ties,
the ties that bind us,
the ties that bind you down.
the
Yeah.
binds that tie us. We're Italian.
There's one of my aunts always says about my uncle that he hasn't cut grandma's.
So the
apron
apron strings
strings.
or cut the cord.
Yeah.
That's more of a mama's boy thing, though. I feel like.
Yeah. So there's a general theme in that concept.
To be fair, though, I really feel like it's Belle. I really do kind of feel like that, like that you have. What are you thinking, Durfee?
I don't really know. I'm
Maybe
just
something like begrudging computer whiz, hinting the fact that there's something more you want to do with your life than just
Reluctant
computers.
wonderkind.
Something like that. Does any of that sound good?
I'll think about it. Or I'm the only one left, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Prodigy.
Reluctant
just-
Prodigy is good too.
Reluctantly prodigal son.
Cause Mama said
Do you have
so.
any ideas, Will?
Well, the prodigal
None.
son's the one who left in return. He's like the son who stayed.
None that have been said before.
Okay.
You guys can just go. I got it. Thinking about it.
All right. Let me know when you think of one. So the next phase is when you met one of the other characters that is in your party. I'm gonna go with my list that I have. So Will, you're gonna describe your first meeting with Unamonos, the chemist. Jen, you're gonna describe your first meeting with Jacqueline Kind, the corporate espionage specialist that you probably wouldn't know is that on first meeting. If she's doing her
Right.
job, you wouldn't know.
Oh yeah, so they won't know that that's what I am though.
Probably not.
Off
Caitlin,
the record, you don't know.
Caitlin, you're going to describe your first meeting with Fitz, the man who's coding through life.
Okay.
Is his identity. And then Durfee, you're going to describe your first experience with Milton, the skinflint accountant. So this is where you're kind of the lead, and that character is incorporated into your story, not the other way around. So write it from your point of view.
What I was thinking of was like for the family because he does it for his family, not for.
Your aspect being for the family.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh yeah.
That makes perfect sense. Okay.
Do it for the kids.
So take another 5 minutes or so and think about what your first encounter with that character I just mentioned is.
And mine is with Fitz.
Will is with Unamonos, Jen is with Jacqueline, Caitlin is with Fitz, the coder, and Durfee, you're with Milton, the accountant.
Yep.
And then the last one's going to be the other way around, when we go in the opposite direction. So again, once you're ready with your paragraph or so, just go ahead and start reading it.
We're in character, right? So we're telling him how the characters met, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And it shouldn't just be saying hi in the hallway and walking by. Something actually needs to have happened because we need to pull an aspect out of this encounter.
stand up so I can see.
Yeah, all the aspects that we have so far on this list.
Oh, Milton. There you go. This isn't a webcam, right? It's just...
No, it's not on.
All right, good. So they won't see that I'm picking my nose. Kidding.
I'm sure.
Definitely.
They have to be really good hackers. It's not even plugged in. That's just a feat of impressive technology out of itself.
Apparently there's spyware that can do it according to Broadchurch, which is not renewing for a 5th season. Or for a 4th.
It'd be really hard to do it without a plug, though. There's no power, no connection. I get the funny feeling that every encounter with
Mine.
Jacqueline is just going to be her in a completely different kind of...
Yes, it is! How did you know that that's what's
she
going to
can
happen?
be anything when you meet her, so it should be really interesting what role she is playing in each of these characters' first encounters.
I think that the chemist for sure helped Milton with high school schoolwork.
Interesting. So
Like
before the
tutoring.
corporation.
Yep, I think so.
Okay.
Tutor
So
fire.
so go give a little bit more detail about that encounter. What
You know
what
it's
was
not
the
flesh
project?
chemists.
How did she help you? Things like that to give us a little more insight.
Well, I have no idea.
Like, were you making a
For sure
volcano that
something-
actually threatened to blow up the building and she was able to stabilize it? Something like that. Something a little more adventurous than she helped me with my homework, just so we can pull.
Well, yeah. It's for sure like helping with some kind of like crazy chemistry project. But
Maybe she showed you where the cheap stuff was in the store. You were a debt of gratitude for saving you that $3.
Do you need me to lend you some chemistry nerdness, or are you a chem person?
what?
I said, do you need me to lend you some nerd
Words
or do you know how to chemistry?
I know a thing or two about chemistry.
Okay.
I only know enough to not blow myself up on a regular basis.
We're also in cyberpunk utopia, so make shit up all you want. I don't care.
So, the science seeds are ass. Do you want this to be realistic?
No.
Okay.
No realism.
You are working catering at one of those boring mandatory company gatherings.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's actually a good way to get intel.
Yeah, it is.
People tend to trust waiters for some weird reason.
You can get anybody as drunk as you want.
And taxi drivers.
If you're the bartender. Okay, is anyone ready with their little spiel to tell us?
Or if you're carrying your drinks.
I'm
Not that I
almost
would
ready.
ever slip anything in anyone's drink, maybe several times.
Are you ready, Caitlin? I don't see you writing.
Well, where do you want me writing it?
No, I mean, you have your story of
Yeah.
how you met the other. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Tell us.
So, real quick to clarify, the corporation is big enough that I would be able to play different people to each of them, correct?
The corporation expands over a large continent, so yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure that it's not like
Oh,
I'm
yes.
trying to pull off different people in the same 80-person like corporate headquarters. Okay.
No.
So when
I'm working for Allstate.
Right. When I first met Fitz, I was portraying myself as a younger, recently hired out of college intern coder. I was actually looking to see if there were any backdoor coding availabilities for the company that had hired me to infiltrate. But as far as he is concerned, I came in as an intern, and I singled out Fitz because he didn't seem that loyal to the company. He seemed to have loyalty issues,
Uh-oh.
and people who aren't loyal can be bought and I was gonna say bought and sold, but can be bought for a price. But in the end, I didn't actually have to make him an offer from my parent company at the time, because I was able to finagle the information. It was a very lax security system, and I was able to finagle the information, and then quietly close out my internship shortly thereafter. So while it caused a blip for Fitz, he never really realized that that's what had gone on, and he didn't lose his job, and quite frankly, since it didn't affect his bottom line, it didn't matter a whole lot for him, but that company was none too pleased that it happened.
So how does that create a connection to Fitz for you?
For me, as far as Fitz is concerned, I am a fellow coder who he would be senior or more mentor to, so he would perceive himself to be a much better coder than I, and I was a temporary young coder in the office.
Okay.
You want a deeper connection there?
I'm not sure what we can. The idea for these is to create a reason to stick together. That's kind of what we're going for.
So once we all physically get together, though, they're gonna realize that I'm not the same person.
I get the feeling we're going to want to hold off on your two other aspects, and they're going to kind of evolve over play. So
if I... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, shoot.
Okay.
So if I implicate a time period that we have that we're all meeting in, would that be okay?
What do you mean?
So, like, I'll just read my thing because,
Go for it.
I haven't quite finished the end because I have some questions about it, but I met Milton once when the corporate decreed that I had to give a presentation on why my project deserves funding. The fucking cheapskate told me that my project would be discontinued within the week unless I provided them a working prototype. There wasn't any damn time for tests or trials. There's never enough time. So I want to know if I can put within the week if I decide, because the thing I'm going for is I intended to show his money laundering and stuff to the company. That's why we're together. We got you know what I mean?
You're blackmailing me? Is that what you're saying?
I think so.
All right.
I'm going to say that the blackmail could not have happened yet.
Okay.
I think I like the aspect of I'm currently digging up dirt on Milton because he offended me or something like
To
that.
buy him an extension on his project.
All right.
Yeah, like Milton offended you personally by being so cheap and not being willing to invest, and you have this vendetta against him, and ever since you've been digging up dirt, maybe on the deep web, maybe just watching him and stalking him. So
I feel like Milton would have some skeletons. Sorry, Milton.
I think so.
I feel like with a name like Milton.
Okay, so I just finished it, so there's more time. So I intended to expose him for the scumbag that he is.
Well,
Yes.
all right. I see how it is.
So we have some pre-existing conflict between the two of you. That's cool.
Yes, that's what these are for, to try and create either an attachment or conflict that will be resolved as a natural
Nothing
course.
personal.
Oh, it's
All right.
everything personal. That's the whole point. So Will and Jen, do one of you want to?
Yeah. So Milton met the girl whose name he cannot pronounce when she stopped him from mixing the wrong chemicals and burning himself. And from there, she was just the only person in the school that didn't look down on him because of what he was. And so to this day, they're still kind of.
So Milton and Una have this connection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He has a loyalty to her.
Yeah.
What kind of a connection? Is it romantic? Is it just loyalty? Is it respect for her knowledge? How would you define that connection?
I don't know. It's not romantic, because that would be really uncomfortable.
Platonic.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a platonic kind of respect for her. Just
What's
like
the name
how,
of it?
yeah, just like I don't know how empathetic or whatever she is.
Okay. So maybe Una saved me from horrible scarring. Something like that. Or what are you thinking?
Una's got your back.
That's an option if you feel like you can really trust her. That would be a good way to do it.
All right.
So are you putting one of these down?
Yeah.
Which one? I need to keep a list.
Luna's got her back.
Great. Okay, Jen, you're up.
All right. Give me one moment. I'm writing down that I have Milton's back.
So what would mine be? I don't think I wrote down anything for you.
I wrote down intend to expose Milton for the scumbag that he is.
All right.
So what I have written is really basic because I didn't know what we were going to do with it, but sure.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you
here's
don't
what I
even regulate
have.
it, But I'm like, fuck this chemist.
Here's what I have, and tell me
Fuck your chemistry.
what you think I should do. I have here that my encounter with Jacqueline is that I ran into her at one of those boring mandatory company meetings, and that she caught that I was playing AR games instead of paying attention.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm assuming I have...
So you might think of her as something like Fun Police?
Huh? Yeah.
Or like you might even be suspicious of her.
Can we, you want to add in what I told you, but that you don't recognize that I'm the same person? Because I was a wait staff.
Yeah, all right. So talk it out with me because it was quiet and I didn't write it down.
So what I had recommended was we've actually met twice. She just doesn't remember the first time because
you do your job well.
I'm good at this. And the first time was like she said earlier, waitress at an event. So I was waitressing at an event and I attempted to slip something onto the plate and or glass of an attendee.
You attempted to slip an attendee.
That I was, an attendee at her table, and she noticed something was up. But there was a precipitate in your glass, sir, and thwarted my plans. She has, and I wasn't caught, but she thwarted my plans. She has no idea what she did, doesn't even recognize me. But I'm like, fuck this chemistry bitch.
I'm gonna add one detail. It was Fitz that you tried to.
You were trying to drug Fitz.
Why would you do this to me?
Well, the only issue, it would need to be Milton because Fitz
he's got all the money.
Fitz would know who I was because I was his intern.
Well, unless I was doing something I don't pay attention.
Well, what I'm thinking is.
Or I guess I didn't have to be
I'm still trying to find an aspect for you connecting to Fitz, and I'm thinking maybe you got suspicious of him. You realize that he's such a good hacker. Maybe he's heard of you in the dark web. Maybe he knows your identity.
No, it could have been.
And so you attempted to drug him to get him out and to interrogate him, but she caught you and stopped you from doing that.
Okay, well I was gonna say, or it could have been that plan was thwarted, so I had to physically steal it, which I freaking hate doing. I prefer to be given information and not steal it. So the first
attempt was you tried to drug him at a conference. It failed because she intervened. So then you went a second time as an apprentice, hoping that he didn't recognize you. He didn't, and then you physically interrogated his device essentially to make sure he has no data on you.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So your aspect would be something along the lines of maybe.
I think Fitz is just gonna be real salty all the time.
So for mine with you though,
he's like my white whale. Oh my god. Okay.
I like it. Fitz is my white whale.
Fitz is my.
There we go. We got it. Okay. What about you, Jen?
You Moby Dick. So what I'm trying to figure out is, so you caught me playing AR games on my cybernetic eye, and you're like, that hand twitching, she's obviously doing control work. And since you seem to have it out for me because I'm that chemistry bitch, did you turn me in and get me in trouble, or did you give me a pass when you caught me playing VR games instead of paying attention?
That's my question for you. I don't give free passes. I give passes with strings attached.
Oh.
Okay.
So she knows. So something like she knows that you were slacking off and she has something. She's got blackmail over you, essentially.
Okay. So Jacqueline knows I'm a slacker? Or Jacqueline knows how I slack?
Something like that, yeah. Okay. All right.
This is my white whale.
And now we're going to go the opposite direction. So for Will, this is your first encounter with Fitz. And this is chronologically after the encounter with Una. So a little bit of time has passed. Things have developed. And now you're meeting Fitz for the first time.
Was this after or before the meeting? Could be both linked at the same time.
This would be after that meeting.
After the meeting, right?
Yeah. So Will, your first encounter with Fitz. Durfee, your first encounter with Jacqueline. Caitlin, your first encounter with Una. And Jen, your first encounter with Milton.
My first encounter with Milton was high school, so I'm going to have to think back.
Something else. So your first encounter where you were the protagonist of the story.
Where I was the protagonist of the story.
Maybe you didn't notice him at first, and then years later you're in this company, you recognize him, and you're like, hey, I knew you from high school, and then something happens as a result.
I'm going to go get a glass of water in your kitchen because I'm familiar with that. I'm going to go help myself to things in your house.
I'm sure I need one.
Do you want me to grab you one too?
I've got one cup.
She brought cheese balls, and I have weakness, and it's been bad. Encounter with Milton.
I'm not gonna kill anybody.
It's not a game of paranoia, okay? We're not actually trying to kill
I'm
each
not
other.
gonna kill anybody. I'm just gonna drug them and steal their secrets. Okay?
Totally.
Kill people. There's no money in that.
This isn't a game of paranoia. I
No,
need to
that's
make
another
that
good
really
aspect.
clear.
I don't kill people. There's no money in that.
That's another good aspect for your character.
I'm just coming up with all these quotes for her.
I have a writers group that wants to get together on discourse. Maybe you could show
Discord?
me discourse.
Whatever this is. Discord. Yeah.
They would like to
Be
discourse
happy
on
to.
Discord.
Yeah.
I figured.
I'll get you an account. And
Well,
help
if you want to connect on there, I thought you might want to.
It's not a bad idea.
And this is what I want to set up an account thing for this, for Skyping or whatever, for my house. Okay. For discoursing. Or
Discord.
Damn it, Amy.
Discording.
I can't call it Discord because when I do, I think of the character from My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic, and I.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, no.
My
No.
little pony.
Done. Someone please have a story to say. It's not that. Who's ready?
I have fucking nothing. I'm seriously brain.
I think I'm ready to go.
Okay, shoot.
Take it, Fitz.
Alright, Fitz never really met Jacqueline per se. He seems to remember this one bitch hellbent on getting information about his latest project. He eventually relented and gave her the details of another project, not his own. This seemed to suffice, and she left him alone.
Fuck yeah!
He lied to you.
I like you.
So you do not like Jacqueline. And you
I mean-
know that you gave her the wrong information. Her boss has probably at some point been pissed as a result of that. So maybe you're have a
He's
bit of
still
trepidation
white-whaling.
on future encounters with her. Maybe you have a reason to be suspicious because
Everybody's got a back door.
I like that. You want that to be your aspect? I kind of like that as a good
So long
aspect.
as we're
That is
sure
a
this
great
For the last one?
18.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna back to
That sounds really wrong.
It sounds really wrong and really right.
Backdoor man.
I would-
Got a whole lot of love.
I would say everyone has a backdoor, even Jacqueline. Just has an extra dig to her.
How do you spell her name? It's J-A-Q.
Here, let me...
JACQUE.
Oh, it's got a C.
Discord.
Alright, I got it.
I'm going to send
Oh,
all
wow.
the character names
There's a
and...
lot of extra pretentious letters.
I was spelling that real wrong.
Yeah. I did too until I looked it up online.
So,
Jacqueline.
So who else is ready?
Jacqueline.
I think I am.
Malaki.
All right, go ahead.
You've seen that, right?
So Milton is like responsible for the code around the office, and I think Milton just happens to know that Fitz is responsible for like the latest security stuff, which very nearly stopped him from embezzling incredible amounts of money, and he just thinks he's a really swell guy for like almost stopping me.
So do you like Fitz? Do you hate him?
Yeah, I
So
respect his
Milton
ability.
likes Fitz, but Fitz hates him.
I feel like Fitz hits
So-
everyone and potentially himself.
So you have a good deal of respect for Fitz for doing his job well. Is that kind of
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Okay. Then
Begrudgingly.
I would say something along the lines of Fitz has my respect for doing a good job, even if it gets in my way. Something like that.
His begrudging respect, though.
Yeah, Fitz has my begrudging respect. How's that sound?
Alrighty.
Okay. Jen and Caitlin, which one of you is ready?
Jen. Wait, I've already done 2 Jen, right? I still need to do 2 Milton, correct?
No, you've done 2 Fitz. You need to do Una now.
Oh.
Jen did you. You haven't done her yet.
Oh, okay.
So this is after she had an interaction with you. You're then...
Okay, so But this is after, so the information, so this is after I've discovered the information that I got from Fitz wasn't accurate.
Possibly. Maybe using Jen as a different way to get into the corporation and try and figure out what it is you need.
What do you think of? It's that last one.
Hang on, I go turn on my light. I'll be right back.
That kind of changes my character as well. Let the record show GM is reading something written by Una.
That's fine.
Alright. I thought it was a little lame, but I wanted to double check and make sure it was alright.
I'm sure we can find something out of that.
Okay. You want to go or do you want me to go?
Go. I'm kind of gonna have to change her.
Okay. So my encounter with Milton is, though I'm great with books and chemicals and things, I'm not that great with touting my expertise. So when I applied at the company the first time, I didn't get the job, but I ran into Milton in the lobby and we chatted up, and somehow I ended up getting the job. So I think he did that.
Okay. So how's that build a relationship with him? How would you define that?
He's like repaying her for what she did in high school. Maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Would Milton have remembered her from back in high school?
For sure.
His aspect of
Okay.
Una's always got my back.
Yeah. Since he has the aspect of Una's always got my back, but she wasn't necessarily aware of that and him reacting to that.
Milton
That's
greases
where I
the
was-
wheels for me.
It sounds like Una didn't even recognize him.
Yeah.
But I feel
Yeah.
like she's also the type that maybe doesn't recognize most people, and that doesn't signify. You know?
So maybe it meant more to him than it did.
Possibly.
High school meant more to him than it did to her because she's not really great with people.
Okay.
Head in the clouds and her feet in the lab.
Maybe it could just be something as simple right now as Milton got me my job and I appreciate it. That's
Okay.
something that you can work on in advance as time goes on, as your aspects evolve.
All right. Milton,
We pulled some strings for her.
Caitlin, what is it about your character? Because I heard you saying that it's changed somewhat. What has changed?
Yeah. I had planned on the whole like the Fitz thing being closed. That was like that was my initial encounter, but that was closed. But it sounds like it's not. Then
Would you?
I didn't realize he had given me erroneous information.
Maybe your employer didn't think it was erroneous. Maybe no one caught him in it. Maybe that it can be closed. It can be open. It's up to you. What do you think happened?
Well, I mean, if you're mining for data, you still got your data, so it wouldn't really matter what it
You
was.
got a project from the company, which your employer is probably happy with. You just didn't get his because he didn't want you seeing it. Probably because he has a bunch of this backdoor into the dark web stuff.
He gave me something.
You accomplished
but it
your
wasn't
mission.
What I was after.
It's not exactly what you were after because you were after something he made, and he
Okay.
gave you a colleague's work instead.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
So maybe the corporation thinks you're good, and you have a personal vendetta against him because you found
Right.
out somehow that he lied to you, and
Okay.
you're seeking some kind of revenge.
You know what? Okay, so I think my connection with you is going to be kind of based on that. Because I closed out that job, but I realized there was more there, so I decided I'm going to take it into my own hands, and I'm going to like private mine corporate espionage, and based on what I found out, just sell it to the highest bidder.
Okay.
But I feel kind of like after the whole you thwarting my first efforts, I feel kind of like you owe me one. So I actually, the training that we went to, I went there intentionally to dig up information on you, and I've discovered there isn't a whole lot of information to be dug up because you're an incredibly boring person.
Yeah.
The worst thing about you is that you play AR games during your training, and the most annoying thing about you is that you seem to think that that's a bad thing. And I've seen people do some dark shit, and you're like, oh, don't tell my boss that I played AR in a training, and I'm like, okay, sweetheart.
I think your aspect should be Una's
But-
a fucking angel and I hate her for it.
Una's a fucking angel, and I hate her for it. Oh my god, right? And so I'm starting to be like, two birds, one stone, because I really want to use this as my platform to branch out. I want to like be going solo anyways. I'm tired of having to take assignments. I want to start creating my own assignments, and I'm going to start with getting the info that I know this little peon left over me. So I'm kind of pissed at him, and I'm pissed at you, and I realized that like I haven't found any dirt on you. So I'm going to make the dirt.
Oh.
And I'm like, this, you come to me afterwards and try to be like, please don't tell anybody, please don't tell my boss. I would really appreciate it. This, I love my job, but this is my life and stuff. And while you're giving me your sob story, I'm just like, sweet baby Jesus. this is what you're, so I'm gonna.
She's got the mind of a 3-year-old.
I start to write. I'm like, so I start to befriend her, under the guise, and she's gonna go along with it because she's like equal parts unsure if maybe I have dirt on her or maybe I legitimately want to be her friend.
I think she is.
And then it develops into a true relationship. That'd be pretty neat.
I think she is the actual innocent that we are all portraying her as, and she has no idea that you're trying to do anything harmful at all, and you're just going to leverage that to 11 and then break her.
She just thinks you're a weird friend.
Your initial plan is going well.
I'm both Glenda and Alphaba here. So
how do we condense that down into an aspect?
Yeah, condense that down.
There's more than one way to use a person.
No.
I still like
if I can't find any dirt, I will make it.
Yeah, that's a great aspect. If I can't find dirt, I make it. I like that.
I'm pretty sure synthesizing evidence is against the law.
Okay, Fitz.
Okay.
I only have 2 of these left. I'm just gonna set this here.
Yeah.
And it's only when it's like later, and I'm like, God, I need to do something better.
Okay, I'm gonna send the list over Discord so you guys can see all the aspects
I don't
that everyone has.
I don't have one with Middleton.
Yeah,
No.
we all have one that we don't have one with.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
Which you can just establish over
Wait.
time naturally.
So I have one with you. So I have a Fitz one. So I have Fitz is my white whale. If I can't find any dirt, I'll make it. Which I love that.
Mainly on Una. No, you don't have any direct encounters with Milton yet. None that would define your character.
What did Fatal Attraction come from then?
That was your first one. That was just your background.
Oh, so it's
Yeah, one's background and then 2 are
my
characters.
high
When
concept is corporate espionage specialist. My trouble is reactive attachment disorder, and then I have Fatal Attraction. Fitz is my white whale. Okay.
And then the dirt, which is gonna
Yeah.
at first be her, and then
Got you.
anyone else you need to create dirt on.
So I may not even have met Milton yet.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So you're currently working for the same company as everyone else is. Fitz, are you a freelancer, or would you be directly employed by this corporation? Because it sounds like it could go either way, based on your background. So what do you think?
Let's say freelancer, so I don't have any obligations.
So would you be hired as a freelancer, or do you want to look like a corporate woman, and so you went through the official channels?
And
also, what's your cover?
So I feel like normally I would.
I'm gonna go grab a snack. I'll be right back.
Go for it. I feel like normally, since when I'm working for another company, they finesse all this for me, but I am kind of trying to strike out on my own. So I'm maybe not finessing as well as I should be because I don't have a team to back me up to put me in. So I'm actually using my own legal identity.
Ooh, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was I'm using my own legal name, and the background that I tell people isn't me,
Sure.
but a lot of the contact information is. So I lied enough to get myself the job I wanted, but I'm keeping it relatively truthful because I just don't have the resources to like make myself.
You can't do it on your own.
Yeah, exactly. I can't do it on my own. So.
But what is the skill set you sold them on? What is your freelance job?
I sold myself on as a business manager and oh my gosh,
So
like office manager in the chemistry department, so I can
All right, I'm
right
back.
up with Una, buddy.
Okay. So you're in office. So what would your duty be? I'm trying to get you all together in the same room. And you have very disparate.
So as a lab manager, so basically,
Lab manager.
while I'm in the chemistry lab, I'm not actually handling the chemicals, but I would be in close contact with her. However, I'd have access to the computer systems.
Okay. Interesting. So I've got an accountant, a coder, a chemist, and a lab manager. I need to get you working on the same project.
And if I lab manage, I would have to deal with accounting.
Help me out here.
A chemist, a coder.
Neurological implants.
Yep.
Oh God, I love it.
Yep.
Walking
We're
Okay.
talking figuring out a way to overclock the human brain.
Ooh.
Or like improve your senses or sight and stuff like that. Yeah, pretty good.
I mean, I've already got my character. I've kind of picture her as already having a cybernetic eye. So, ways to, because I'm assuming my chemistry is working on ways to get humans' bodies over the implant rejection issue.
Okay.
Jelly incompatibilities,
Yeah. Getting rid of,
stripping them.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Getting rid of that issue. That's my focus. One of the coder can be working on how to integrate those things, integrate, ones and zeros into an analog
I've got
in
it.
system.
I've got it.
that stuff.
Okay, let's start.
And then Milton's the funding.
Yeah.
Biosynthetic gel.
Let's start with Fitz.
Yes.
It's a normal day in the office. You're going through your security routines, making sure there's no breaks in the system. And unfortunately, there is a big giant red flag. Someone has recently been snooping around into the... Well, you don't actually know what it is. It's marked as classified project. Something to do with the chemistry lab. But there's no information on what the project actually is. It just says, report to, I need a name. Flaben, why not? Flaben. He is basically the manager over the entire chemistry division. He's a bigwig, a big deal, big heavy, which is unfortunate with the name Flaben that he's such a big man, but he is indeed a big man. With a very big personality. He does not like to be told that his division is not running well, and you have the unfortunate responsibility of telling him that there's a potential data breach in his division.
So I'm checking the system. I see there's a data breach, and I gotta go tell him, right?
Yep.
Okay. By chance, could I try to hack and see what the data breach was?
Absolutely, man.
Okay. So would I use burglary or tech, or both?
You can try.
I would suggest it would normally be tech, but if you want to add a stunt that lets you use burglary when you're trying to hack a system, I would encourage that because that makes sense for your character.
So then how does stunts work?
So
you just write it, or what?
In this case, it would be breaking the normal way the rules work. So, for example, you could write down, give it a name, something cool, like hacking, and then the effect of the skill would be you can roll burglary whenever you're trying to break an encrypted system, or something like that when you're trying to hack a system. Because I think burglary is your highest skill, right?
That is correct.
So, and it makes sense because you're mainly a hacker that you would want to use burglary to break systems. So I'd give it a name and then have the effect be you can roll for burglar whenever you're trying to break into an electronic system. This would be alarms, this would be computers, databases, anything. As long as it's wired, you can crack it with burglary. Because that would let you supersede the normal requirement of having tech in order to accomplish that. So yeah, once you have that written down, go ahead and roll and use your burglary skill bonus on top of your dice.
So I use tech and then burglary as +4?
You're just using burglary. You don't have to use tech.
Okay.
That's what the stunt lets you do. So go ahead and roll.
So what's the requirement?
I don't tell you. I just tell you what the result is.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It's how I roll. I think there's a little bit more.
All right. I did not roll very good.
Oh God.
What? Oh shit, that was good. Okay, tell me what you got.
I got I got -2.
So with your +4, that's a +2.
That's a fair, yeah.
You've got a lot of backdoors into this system, and although you can't like see a plain text version of whatever the hell this project is,
I get like a piece of it.
you know from the just the way that the data is coded, you know from where it's found in the file structure, this has something to do with biological implants.
All right.
Enhancements related to probably neurology, but yeah, I'll say you've got neurology. It's a neurological implant, but you have no idea what it actually does. You can't get that level of information from your terminal.
All right, so do I just head over to Flabin?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, do I have to roll anything?
No. You will not have a random encounter inside your corporation headquarters.
One more thing before I leave, can I check my area to make sure I'm not forgetting anything, or do I just take all my stuff with me?
You've got everything you need. This isn't a system where I'm going to screw you because you forgot to bring a pencil. Or you.
All right, gotcha.
If your character would normally have something, just tell me and he has it. I'm fine with that.
Well, his like phone and his computer, I guess.
Yeah, just whatever he would normally have on him in a situation, just say he has this and I'm okay with that. Unless it's like an RPG and you're a coder, then I'm going to say, no, you don't have a rocket-propelled grenade ready.
So he heads over to Flabin.
Okay. You can see, just actually go ahead and roll empathy as you kind of like peek around the corner just to see what kind of a mood he's in.
All right. I got +2.
Do you want to add empathy as one of your skills, or do you want to just leave that for now?
Empathy allows me to do what?
Read people, essentially.
Yeah, I'll add that to my skill.
Is that, well, just think about your character. Would he be good at reading people, or would he have no reason to? It sounds like from your background that he probably would be because he wants to be a people person.
Yeah, because he studies people and stuff, like... Yeah. So,
okay, so
would I just put that at 2?
Either one, wherever you want it.
So I can only go, how high can I go? Just to 2, right?
You've got 3 + 2 slots and 4 + 1 slots. You can add it to either of those 2 levels. Your choice.
I guess I'll put it in fair +2.
Okay. So 2 and 2 is 4. He looks very unhappy. He's just got a giant scowl on his face. Something he's reading is just pissing him off right now. You can tell from the get-go that not padding your words carefully could get you yelled at, and that's not going to be fun.
All right. I guess I open the door and go in. Not first.
He just immediately looks up from his desk, just snaps his eyes to yours. What is it? What do you want?
So I tell him that we got that I was scanning the system and I found a data breach, something about from your labs about neurological implants.
His eyes just narrow into this stare that just feels like it's piercing through your soul. What do you mean a breach? Aren't you nerds supposed to handle this kind of stuff?
Well, you see, it's not my department.
So you're blaming me for this, then? Is that what you're doing?
Not blaming you, I'm blaming this company, sir.
I want you to roll provoke. Roll provoke, if you would, please.
I got +1.
Okay. His intensity kind of narrows down a little bit. Yeah, that's fair. So what do we do about this? I mean, obvious data breach isn't good. You can tell by the way he's talking, he has no idea how to do anything technological. He's completely in the dark, and he's trying to hide it, but he's doing a horrible job.
Do you guys have a tech team for your department?
No, that's you guys. We don't have... I can... Wait, what's the project number? Do you know that? You do. You can tell him that.
Yeah, it's...
He looks it up. Oh, that's Una's project. She got a new, manager, too. Here. And he starts typing up. I'm gonna put you in a meeting with the people in charge. Just, you can have a word with them and see if they're the ones causing this. And if they're not, then we'll have to look around the office. How does that sound? Well, you have to do it anyways. I've set the meeting. It's right now. Room 214. Go on.
I guess I go to the room.
Una and Jacqueline, you just had a meeting invite for 1 minute from now. Room 214.
Of course,
It's from-
Flab
it's from
has
your-
it given
yes.
send us a meeting request
It's-
for 1 freaking minute from now.
It's from Flavin, your manager.
Is Flavin very time consuming, or he's very strict on time?
Yes.
Mm.
He's not in this meeting, which you guys are both thankful. He's listed as optional, so he's not going to be there. But you're both required.
So I get a heads up display ping, and I'm like, oh, seriously, accept. All right.
Milton, you also get this meeting request out of nowhere, and you're 20 minutes away, and somehow this jerk manager expects you to get there in 1 minute.
What in tarnation?
Alright, I guess I begrudgingly make my way down there.
Okay. So the three of you meet in the room.
Can I already be inside the room?
Yes, you would be there first.
Okay.
So Una and Jacqueline, you walk into the room, and there is Fitz, the coder. Jacqueline, you've met him before. Una, you don't really have much experience with this guy yet. You're not really sure what he's all about. But apparently he's the one leading the meeting. You know there's someone else coming. Apparently an accountant by the name of Milton. But he seems to be running late.
I don't want him to know that it's the same person though. I would not
Would you?
be playing the same character that I was.
Yeah, she would acknowledge me.
Oh, so you
I would
wouldn't.
not acknowledge that I knew him because
Okay.
I am not that intern.
And she wouldn't. And in turn, he probably wouldn't recognize you at
No.
first either. Okay.
Do I need to roll for that, or I mean, like
No, because that was
that's my
set
person.
up. I'm gonna say you look.
but
You've drastically changed your appearance to the point
Yeah.
where he wouldn't recognize you on the spot. So Fitz, what you know is someone in this department who has access to this project has compromised the data. You know that there was a remote download taken of this project. You don't know what happened with it when it was downloaded. Probably put onto whatever the hell this universe's equivalent of a USB stick is.
A USB stick.
Yeah, whatever the equivalent is. And your job is just basically you're trying to assess out if any of these people seem like the type who would steal data from the company.
Alright. So do I just get started with that, Milton?
Yeah.
Alright. So I look around the room. I try to assess everybody's how they're looking today, like how they're.
Roll empathy.
Yeah.
And if you two are trying to hide
Deceive.
something,
Ah.
roll deceive.
roll the seat.
So
Yeah,
I'm hiding everything.
you don't
all
care.
the
Yeah,
time.
I figured. So what'd you get there?
I got +1.
Okay, and what did you get on your deceive?
+5.
Oof.
You cannot read Jacqueline for shit. She seems vaguely familiar to the server girl with a totally different name and hairstyle, but nah, it doesn't really register. You just like have a very fleeting. She looks kind of doesn't matter.
Has one of those faces.
Oh wait, I get a +2 for fair, right? For putting it fair.
Yeah, so you'd have 3. You still can't
Yeah.
read her though.
I know, but yeah.
You didn't recently steal any information from the company or make an unauthorized download of any sort.
Why would I compromise my own research?
Exactly.
No.
Okay. And Una just looks confused, like a deer in the headlights, has no idea why she's in here. Seems to be assuming the best, like you're here to help her for some reason, rather than crack down and try to figure out if she is indeed the
She's
mole.
wearing a slightly stained lab coat. She didn't take it off when she left the lab because she didn't have enough time.
And we're still waiting on Milton, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can wait, or
Okay.
you can talk to them before he arrives if you wish.
Actually, I'm going to press the issue. I have some petri dishes on rotate, so could we, whatever this is about, I have no idea what this is about. Mr. Flavin sent us here. Can we get through this quickly, please?
So you're telling me he sent you with no idea what the fuck we're talking about?
I'm blinking at him because he dropped the F-bomb in a meeting room. In a professional setting.
I think that's
Very unprofessional.
And I'm like, I think it has something to do with our project.
And which project would that be?
question, DM. Is this a top secret project? Like, is this government clearance level project? Or...
Well, I mean, there probably isn't a government. It's probably just like the company.
Well, what the company says is government secret.
The
okay.
word is law.
They are the same. The company is the government in this nation, which is an entire continent.
Are they like security levels? Like, is this a security level 5?
There
Yeah.
are security levels. You would all be equal,
Okay.
except for Milton, who would be 1 grade above the rest of you
Oh, nice.
due to his access of various financial amounts, which is also why you're able to steal so damn much money from the company.
Okay. So, I don't know. It's a level green clearance. Do you have green?
Which you would.
Well, considering we're in the same meeting room, I would suppose so.
I'm sorry. I have to see your data card in order to verify before.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as a lab manager, I'm gonna request to look at his ID card, and I'm also gonna get any information I can get off of it while I'm looking at it.
Okay.
Can I roll to investigate?
Yes, you may.
You can just flash your data card at me, and if I see it's the right color, I'll be fine with it. But
You know,
Yeah,
I'm
so you show Una, it's enough for her, and then Jacqueline reaches out and grabs it and starts looking over it and plugs it into a device to read your bio, essentially, just without even asking.
Can I stop this or no?
no.
Okay.
You know, I just started here, and I really don't want to be messing up right away. I'm sorry, but it's protocol. I have to check and clear you. Sorry, I gotta make sure it's not a test from corporate, right?
Okay, here's what you can do.
And I'm on +7 for investigate.
You can roll provoke to try and force her to give it back, or you can roll empathy to see if she has any malintent by taking it from you.
That was a positive.
It's your choice, or you can just let this fly. What's your choice?
I guess we'll just watch and let her do it.
Okay, +7.
+7 on
Holy
investigate.
shit.
so you download his resume.
I got his biometrics, man.
Luckily biometrics are not stored there, otherwise that could be a problem.
But I got his fingerprints.
You've got, you've got
Get
some reading to do
DNA
tonight on him.
All right, quick question.
Yeah.
So, as being the hacker man that I am, would I have the potential to have my card set up that whatever it's plugged in, I could get data off of?
Roll burglary to see if you put a worm on your card
All right,
that reverse Trojans anyone who plugs it into a device.
I got a 4. I mean a 5. Sorry.
Yeah. So her data, as you know, is currently being downloaded to your computer as she plugs it in.
But it wouldn't be my data. It would be the company's data.
It would be
Well, whatever's on your card,
Whatever's on your.
your little
whatever device you're plugging my thing into, I get
connected
on
to
the
your-
data.
That's stupid.
It's connected to you unless you stole someone else's reader. It would be connected to your profile, so he'd at least know who you are.
Your ID
the
that's
thing
with
is,
the
that's not how
company,
that's not how that technology works, though. Like, it's just, you don't, like, my own personal information, any of my personal information wouldn't be attached to any device that I'm using to
But if
read.
you're logged into it, he will have at least your login name.
But you don't log
that
in
kind
to download stuff, though. It's like, I don't know. Not to thwart this. It's just, that's not.
All right, let me change it a little bit.
But
So
I could see where it might,
instead of putting a like I put a book on it still, but I put it onto whatever you're downloading my data onto, so I don't know whose this is, but until you plug it into something else, then I'll get access to whatever else you plug your device into.
I could
So-
see it. I could see it setting a virus that would partially corrupt stuff so that it messed up the reading, but it wouldn't give him. It wouldn't reverse feed him information onto his card. Does that make sense? Like, that's not.
Well, it's like what are you plugging in right now? You're plugging my ID.
This is
That's
so
right.
much detail for something so little. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't want you guys going so hard aggro against each other because eventually you need to be a cohesive team.
Okay.
So I'm going to say that your device intentionally feeds bad information. You've got a virus on there that just throws random shit. So she got a great download, but
It
Half
includes
of
like
it's
a
things
children's book.
Yeah. Okay, that's better.
children's
Yeah.
book and a whole bunch of random stuff that
A
she'll have to
PDF of
filter
Dr.
through.
Seuss.
There might be
Okay.
something useful, but it's buried deep in a bunch of random garbage. So there's data in there, and if she spends a lot of time reading through it, she'll find something about you. But
Okay.
most of it's just trash that she'll have to filter through. Just as a precaution for anyone trying to read deeper than your base level bio stuff.
So I then take my card back and proceed with the meeting.
Okay.
All right.
I'll say after all this awkward, Milton comes shuffling in, just out of breath from running through this gigantic HQ, trying to get to this random meeting on time.
I recognize him. So, hey, Milton.
Hey. Sorry, what I missed.
All right. I see the Scrooge is here.
Oh gosh. Did you say that to my face?
Yeah.
Well, it's more like I whispered under my breath a little bit, but
Okay, good.
Faking cohesion. Okay.
so I've been asked to draw a meeting today, including all of you fine people, about a data incursion that we had.
Really?
Milton, that would scare you.
What kind of data?
Like you right now have a little backdoor skimming program running that's slowly trickling money out of the corporate accounts into your private account. So hearing him talk about a data intrusion has got you a little concerned.
You know, whenever you've got a half cent, it just rounds it up. And
Yeah.
that roundup goes into your account.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I was
Pennies
thinking
for
of.
everyone.
Yeah, but it's a lot.
It's amazing when you've got millions of transactions a day how that half cent really just adds up.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know what kind of data maybe it could be missing?
Well, from what I've heard and from my own sleuthing before this meeting, it's about a biological implant, something about the brain. Would anybody like to expand on that?
I'm very visibly relaxed.
Yes. And your involvement is you're in charge of watching over the budget for this. That gives you a certain amount of access into the actual project itself, which is why Flappin added you to this meeting. You theoretically could have stolen some data, which would have triggered a flag, but you haven't. You have no reason to care about that kind of stuff. If it isn't money, you don't care. And what he's talking about is not directly associated with the money, so you're pretty sure he's not talking about you.
So I'm confused. Are you saying there's a security breach within our lab? Or that someone from outside tried to access our lab?
Well, from what it looks like, someone took stuff off of our servers and downloaded it offshore. I mean, not offshore, off-site. And I don't know if it's like interior or exterior, but we got to get to the bottom of this.
Oh, well, shoot. That stuff's, depending on what they got, that could be, lethal. Yeah, we're doing research into, since you're clearance green, and Milton, I know you're clearance, we're doing research into mental enhancements, but a little bit more advanced than caffeine kind of mental enhancements.
I nod and continue through the meeting.
Okay, we'll just power through. By the end of it, actually, go ahead and roll empathy against Milton just to see if you get any reads off of him. Milton, you might want to roll deception.
Like a boss.
Sure. I got a, let's see here. So I rolled a -2, and I probably, my +2s would probably be deception.
Okay,
so,
add it on there, and you've got a 0.
yeah.
And what did you get,
Hang
Fitz?
My dice landed on top of each other. All right, I got nothing. They cancel each other out.
So what's your bonus to empathy?
2.
Okay. You get the feeling Milton's not entirely on the up and up, but it's a side concern. Maybe he took someone's lunch today and he's feeling a little guilty about it. Maybe he's skimming a little bit of money off the top. Maybe he's just, making fun of you in his head. You can't tell what exactly is going on, but he seems a little distracted and a little reserved as you're going on with this. But eventually you feel satisfied that none of these 3 people caused the breach that you've been told to research into.
Like getting cheese ball into my dice is like the ultimate fat nerd thing.
So as you close this meeting and people start walking out, and the 4 of you leave the room, you realize that there are a lot of guards in this area all of a sudden at every single entrance and exit. And all the doors are locked, and people are lined up talking with these guards. It seems like no one's being allowed in or out of this wing.
This whole wing?
Yeah, they've locked down the entire chemistry wing. There's several higher up executive looking people with guards talking to Flavin in his office.
Oh, sure.
And from a distance,
There's
you
one
can
behind your foot.
you like visibly see Flavin sweating, like something is seriously wrong here. And all the armed guards all
Something
around
is
the
different,
area
yeah.
seem to verify that that is indeed the case.
This is uncomfortable.
I would then look to Milton and say, "Hey, Chief, what's going on?"
I would just say to like everyone be calm because like I'm like a step above them, but I'm visibly shaking.
He's not very convincing when he says be calm.
I think I would drop behind the rest of the group at this point.
Okay.
Is my lab in this wing?
Yes.
Can I get back to my lab?
There don't seem to be any guards at your lab at the moment.
All right, I'm going to beeline back to my research.
Okay. Does anyone
Are
follow
they going
you?
to stop me?
The guards or the
The
rest of the players?
guards.
They don't seem... They're just keeping an eye on the room right now, like from all different angles.
All right.
You can see the cameras up on the walls are more active than normally, panning back and forth aggressively. They're looking for something or someone.
All right. Well, I know they're not looking for me, so I careth notteth.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get back to my research before it explodes.
Okay.
So,
So
And
Una
I'm
goes...
going to walk with her out towards back to the lab area to kind of
Okay.
give myself a normal appearance.
Okay.
I'm really just beelining back to my desk and my stuff.
Milton Fitz, what are you doing?
Well, this
You're
isn't
not
my
going back to your
wing.
desk.
It's not my wing, so I guess I'm just gonna meander about.
Okay.
Just sort of watching the guards and everything out of the corner of my eye while I try to slink back to my room, down whatever it was I was doing in case they're onto me.
Okay. So Milton, you go over to the exit, and the guards block your way and say, "Sorry, sir, this wing's closed. You have to wait here until
jeez.
we're done with our investigation."
Well, slink back into the meeting room and slink into my chair. Play on my phone.
You can check remotely on your program that's running if you want, if you're worried about it.
Yeah. Could I just beep boop, kind of like shut her down, or would I have to roll? For that?
Roll tech to see if you can shut it down remotely if you had that insight or that foresight.
All right. Well, that'll be a +3.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely were worried about this. You thought about it ahead of time, and you've got a kill switch that you can activate remotely if you desire.
Alrighty.
I'd say that you're paranoid enough. That makes sense.
Yeah. Do you want to kill it right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, shut it down.
Yeah, you shut the program down. It got you a few thousand credits, which is... it's more than you make in a day, so it was worth it. And you think maybe you'll turn it back on in a few days after this, whatever the hell this is, has died down a bit.
Sure.
And Fitz, you're just kind of walking around randomly.
Can I decide something to do?
What's that?
Can I decide something that I want to do?
Yeah, sure.
So after walking around for a little bit, I decide that I want to eavesdrop and figure out what's going on.
Okay. Who are you
So, like,
eavesdropping on?
What?
Are you just eavesdropping on the room in general, or do you have a specific target in mind that you want to listen in on?
I want to try and eavesdrop on the guards or into the. I can't talk. Sorry, like the area in between the where the guards have locked off the wing and where Flavin's getting chewed out.
There's actually an empty desk really close by that you could sit down, and your login credentials let you log into any desk as an admin, so you could legitimately...
So then I'll do that and get into the camp and watch what's going on. Do I have to roll for that?
Yes.
Should I roll my fancy boy?
Your what?
My stunt? Or just leave it at tech?
This would be social engineering rather than normal engineering. Since you're trying to listen in on conversations rather than break into an electronic system.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're trying to hack into the security, like the actual...
Well, I think it'd be like turned off or something, so you'd have to hack into to listen, you know?
Well, the door is open. I mean, the door is closed, but if you're sitting close by, you can just listen in on their conversation.
Oh, okay, so you don't have to get into the cameras and stuff.
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
If you
Yeah, I'll
want to
just
have,
listen.
if you want to have a closer look, though, you're more than welcome to roll your stunt and break into the office itself and spy through that way. It's up to you. If you want to just try and listen, or if you want to break into his office, which could have a risk if you fail.
I think I'll just leave it at just listening through the walls.
Okay. Go ahead and roll rapport.
I don't have that one, so it'll just be 0 or 1.
If you want to add it as a +1 or +2, you're welcome to. Otherwise, it just stays at 0 for now.
So I rolled a 3.
Okay. Yeah, you get quite a bit of detailed information. It seems that this hack is a lot worse than you thought and than anyone else thought. Instead of just a single project being downloaded, the entire chemical database has been copied. They have reason to believe that the perpetrator is still on site in the lab. The download finished right as they did a lockdown, so unless they had a way to wire it remotely, which is impossible in this building. Every single wing is coated with materials to ensure that wireless transmissions are impossible. So
From the outside?
yes.
Okay, because nothing couldn't have
even
turned off
from wing
this.
to wing, like people in the adjacent wings can't send wireless data into the chemistry wing. Everything has to be wired or no deal. This is a very paranoid corporation that you work for, and they went to great lengths to ensure their data was not stolen. And someone just stole all the data for this entire area. So there's basically you guys are here until you figure out who the hell did it, and no one's leaving this space until that is resolved. Except for the security who can come in and out. But Flavin seems very worried. Like, he's very afraid his job is on the line if they don't figure out who did it, and very quickly. You hear words about the Inquisitors, which is a group you would know a little bit about. They're shady bastards. They're the ones who have authorization to use any and all measures to make sure that the truth is brought out. They're kind of like, yeah, since the company makes up the law, they're exempt from all the laws. If you have a meeting with an Inquisitor, expect a lot of pain, a lot of torture until you tell them exactly what they need to find out. And they're on their way.
Excellent.
Which is not good for anybody in this building until they find this person. You're pretty sure you want to get the hell out of here as soon as possible. So what are you doing with that information?
Are there elevators and such in this building?
Not in this area. The elevators are only in the corridors to prevent people from trying to leave in situations like this. The doors are hackable, but there's guards stationed at each door, so that makes it kind of difficult to hack your way out without being noticed.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a very physical person, so I don't have any ability.
So
Yeah.
we've established that there's like biometrics scanning and stuff that would be like loaded into the system. Could one of like the hacky type people just kind of like get into the system and look through cameras and such to see if like anyone is here that isn't like an employee or someone that they recognize?
Yes, and people are already probably doing that.
Well,
But not necessarily people we want to be doing that.
yeah.
Oh yeah, the corporation is constantly monitoring everyone inside and near its walls. If there is someone in the building, if there is someone in this wing who isn't an employee, they would have been caught by now. That would be very quick, very simple, unless they were literally hiding under a desk,
Okay.
which looks suspicious in itself.
How many people would you say are kind of just around locked in here?
About 400. There's
Oh, wow.
almost all chemists. There's a lot of scientists in this wing.
Okay, so we can't like interview people.
Not very quickly. The guards are starting to. They're like, as people come up to them, they're starting to grill them a little bit and trying to see who looks more nervous than they should be.
Got any good windows?
Nope.
Oh, jeez.
So then I guess I just hunkered down and locked myself.
Well,
In the conference room?
Yeah, or wherever my desk is.
I don't think you can wait this one out.
Worth a
one,
try.
Two. I feel like if we wait, we're gonna for sure get tortured, and I do not want that.
Your frail bones couldn't take it.
No, absolutely not. I would squeal like a pig.
So you get back to your experiment.
So So me and Milton are just conversing in this room, locked in
maybe you
together.
guys are like, you locked yourselves in, because neither one of your desk is in this section, so you both kind of like went back to the conference room and locked it and hope that everyone just ignores you and just kind of like nervously talking back and forth, pretending like you're working, but you absolutely can't because you're...
Maybe this is where we bridge the gap.
Possibly, that's up to you two. So Una, you make it back just in time for your experiment to not be ruined.
Yay! I didn't want to have to start that over again.
Assuming you're just going to innocently go about your work.
Yep.
Okay.
I didn't hear any of that over
Nope.
stuff, so I have no idea that I'm potentially going to be tortured in the not too distant future.
Yes.
And I'm going to continue doing my work.
Okay, Jacqueline, roll empathy.
And probably saving the information as I'd get it on the now dangerous to be putting shit on server.
Oh, no. Okay. So, Jacqueline, because of your background, I'm pretty sure you're watching these guards like a hawk, so go ahead and roll empathy to see if you notice anything off-putting about their behavior.
2 or 1.
1. You don't really... A few of them seem jumpy, like nervous, but other than that, you don't get any specific reads on what they're looking for or what they're doing here. There's just a lot of them. So you go about business as usual. Do you do anything specific to try and hedge your bets at this time?
I'm going to go back, and now that I have that stuff from Fitz, start trying to look through it to see if I can find anything. I'm going to very quickly realize that he's got a whole bunch of junk on here.
Yeah.
It's cyberpunk.
It's mostly garbage. Bunch of kids' books.
Mm.
Some
And
werewolf
I'm
erotica.
I don't notice anything. I'm assuming I don't notice anything of import.
No, not yet. It would be take a deep dive in here to find anything useful.
Yeah.
Should I make an MO? Just like whatever I hack gets my little calling card.
If you want to, what is it?
I don't know, I was asking.
What?
What's that?
I was just asking.
Yeah, you can if you want to. Like a little
Okay.
something pops up, says you got screwed by, and then your hacker alias.
Yeah,
How does
maybe.
7 on investigate get me nothing?
Countermeasures.
Oh man.
They're
Okay.
bitchy.
Like I said, you've got data in there. It's just his.
You just gotta look for it.
Yeah, it's just gonna take time. You can't get it quickly.
Okay.
You might be able to glean some information from him about him by which books he chose, for example. If you really want to put in that much thought and effort.
All right.
I don't see why not.
Anything?
Yeah. I don't know what she's doing.
We're just gonna start
I think
reviewing
she's-
what you have. Or...
I mean, like, if she hasn't been here that long, I think she's still just working on trying to find something to use on Una or to use on Fitz. But obviously, it's not. She's not gonna be able to get to Fitz directly. Do I have the ability to access personnel files at all?
Yes.
Because I'm gonna say. Milton seems like a new player to her, so she's gonna look into Milton.
And Una said
yeah.
hi to him directly.
Una
knows him.
Oh yeah, Una seemed to know him, so I'm gonna do some looking into this. But instead of investigating, could I have contacts?
Yes.
I feel like maybe instead of investigating.
Yeah,
I'm gonna chat up one of the other people in the lab and see what they can tell me about Una and Milton.
Yeah,
I'm gonna,
go for it.
Old school
More
and
contacts.
hit up the rumor mill by the water cooler.
Bless you.
Thank
Roll
you.
for contacts. I got 4.
Oh yeah. So what exists between you two? Between Una and Milton?
I'm gonna try to get her or somebody else at the
Yeah.
Is this office gossip or is it from her?
No, it
That
would be
office
gossip.
which is why I'm asking what people would have noticed between the two
Oh,
of you.
you're like off context. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
So office gossip, I don't know what they would say. I do have the aspect that I believe Milton got me my job.
Okay. So she has a lot of gratitude towards Milton. She feels very strongly that for some reason,
Some
he's in her
people may
corner.
have shipped us, which probably would be wrong.
Oh yeah, you hear many rumors about forbidden romance between the accountant and the chemist that don't seem very credible to you.
I'm trying not to think about it. And do I, like, is there anything good about Milton that I hear?
Good?
I'm like, good to me, like, juicy that I hear about.
Nobody likes him.
Sounds about right.
The several people around the office that have met him all give you the same idea that he just seems very reserved, very shy, very held back. A couple people say, I swear he's hiding something, but I have no idea what it is. I just don't spend enough time with him. Maybe if you talk with someone in accounting, you could know more. That's his division, but just
Okay.
he's stingy as hell. He won't
right,
give us a penny for our research. We know that.
Okay. Am I done, or can I go approach Milton then?
You go talk to him. I mean,
Okay. Then I'm going to I'll be honest, I didn't catch all of what they were doing, but I'm gonna go seek out Milton because I'm assuming he's still stuck here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do eventually. They're in the conference room, and when you go to open the door, they've locked it.
Milton and
Milton and Fitz are in a conference room with the lights off, sitting in the back, and the door is locked as you approach. They definitely do not want to be noticed, but you're able to find them with a few minutes of looking.
Yeah.
I jump a little bit when you rattle the door.
Milton jumps a little.
Can I try to pick the door to get to him?
You just ask them to unlock it. They'll probably
You can knock.
or you can pick it either way.
It's Jacqueline. Can you guys let me in the conference room?
That stunt that I marked. Weird science.
Well, I come to the door, look through the little window, see if there's anyone else around, and quickly open it for her.
You good with it?
Sure. No one else seemed to be paying attention. It's just her.
I let her in and then shut the door behind her.
Okay.
Can I help you?
Why are you under lockdown in the conference room?
Well,
I watched the conversation.
Oh, why are we locked in the conference room? I don't really feel like getting these jumpy guards too close to me. I don't want don't want anything to. You've seen the news. You know what happens.
You're both welcome to come stay in my office if you want for a little bit until they clear out. I have a pretty decently sized office I would manage if it's Imagine. I have some tea if you'd like to come hunker down there and not in the dark in the back in a conference room just by yourselves, unless that's what you're after.
I guess that sounds more comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm plenty okay on my own. Thank you very much.
That's fine.
I'll go with her.
Anyway.
So Milton, you're going with her?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you go back to Jacqueline's office. It's comfy. She's got a few comfy chairs. She's got a tea maker. It seems nice.
I will come in at some point and fiddle with the tea maker and say, okay, don't touch that for 5 minutes, and then I will leave. And that is all that will...
It looks as though I'm rescinding the offer on tea momentarily. My apologies. But
I subtly scoot away from the coffee machine.
Yeah, I would move too. I got the impression that you've met Una before. Now.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah? Like just through here, or do you guys know each other from somewhere else? She seemed really friendly for her.
We just went to high school together.
Oh, that must have been interesting.
I come back, I pull it out, and it does not look at all like tea. I clean the filter, put it back in, and I'm like, okay, you're good. And I leave the room.
Oh, God.
You have no idea what I brewed.
So I also have like some bottled soft drinks behind the desk too. I feel like maybe we just give the tea a miss.
A classic Una move right there.
Classic Una move. Yeah, right? All right, so are you guys like close then?
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. She was my best friend for probably 6 years.
Best friend.
Got her this job as well. Yeah, best friend in the entire world, actually.
You got her this job. Oh, you're such a sweetheart.
Yeah.
It really does. She does seem to be all about the job, doesn't she?
There's a strange smell coming from the lab. Oh, good lord.
Una,
It's nothing.
nothing is smelling at my office.
It'll be fine in a minute. The sound of a fire extinguisher in the distance.
Oh, good heavens.
And then the
So-
smell dissipates.
So Fitz,
As you are counting, I'm sure you know how much we spend in fire extinguishers.
I am
Fitz,
keenly aware.
I'm trying to
you hear a strange noise that kind of sounds like a fire extinguisher from somewhere in the distance, and then there's a couple guards running by. And as they run by the closed meeting room door, you hear one of them mutter something about, also look for anyone who's alone, as they run by the door. They don't seem to have noticed you yet.
Does not bode well for our friend.
Hmm.
Too bad you didn't hear that, huh?
No, he's the one
No,
who heard
Fitz
it.
heard
Fitz
it.
heard that.
Oh,
That's right,
okay.
we did not.
As they were running by the conference room he's hiding in,
Alright.
he overheard them say something about look for people who are by themselves. That's all he heard. You gonna stay in there?
I guess I'll have to take her up on her offer and head to her office.
Okay. So, Una, several guards come running up to you, all with batons out, wondering what the hell a fire extinguisher is doing going off in the middle of a crisis.
Crisis?
One leading says, "What are you doing, woman?
What? Ice cream?
You're making ice cream?"
Of course I'm making ice cream. What else would you use a fire extinguisher for?
They're just all, their minds are blown. Like, no, don't do that right now.
It's coffee flavored.
Work. Why are you not doing work?
I am doing work. I needed to
What's
make
your
something
name? What's your
exceptionally cold, exceptionally quickly,
what's your
so
name?
I used the
What's your name?
I can make the ice cream as a side project.
Stop. What's your name?
Una,
Last name.
Manos.
They pull out a pad and they're typing in your
I hold
information.
up my card.
Beep. I scan it. Wait a moment. We need you to come with us. Now, come on. We have someone who needs to talk to you. You overhear this, by the way.
30 seconds. I need to make sure the lab doesn't explode when I leave.
That's a good idea.
I turn off some burners, put some things in like there. You know what are those things called that rotate around and
Centrifuge.
yeah. Well, it's not
Centrifuge.
centrifuges, but the ones that jiggle stuff. I turn those all
The
off.
jigglers, obviously.
Yeah. And then I scoop myself a bunch of coffee ice cream into a bowl. And I'm using
container. To-go container.
not into a bowl. I'm sorry, into one of those into a beaker.
Into an Erlenmeyer flask.
Into a flask. I pull a stirrer out of one of the containers and I'm using it as a spoon. Freeze-dried ice cream.
Poor innocent Una. She's about to have a bad day.
Fitz, if you're walking in as we're exiting,
Yes.
okay, I'm gonna be like, hey, there's freeze-dried coffee ice cream on the left-hand side. The right-hand side is amino acid, so I wouldn't touch that. But the left-hand side is freeze-dried ice cream. How about
Free game. Free game.
So you
Now, I
know-
guess as they cart her off, I knock.
on the
head
door.
to-
Her door is open right now. I assume it would be.
Oh, Fitz, you decided to take me up on my offer. Does Una leaving have anything to do with you, Fitz?
Huh? You cut out. Sorry.
Oh, I said, do you know anything about this, Fitz? Do you know why my lab technician is being carted off by the guards?
Sadly, no. I just heard some rather convincing evidence that I shouldn't be alone.
All right. I'm going to poke my head down the hall. Are the guards still surrounding the whole lab area, or
Oh, yeah.
have they left?
No, they haven't left in their cart. They're
You
taking
betcha.
several people away.
Taking several people, including Una. Including Una.
Yes.
I'm gonna ask Milton. Do you think we should follow her? Do you think she's okay? I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like you would have a better idea than I would.
I don't think that any kind of guard would be pulling her while people away or without any kind of reason. Maybe we could cause some kind of a scene and have them take us where they're taking her.
Are you asking us to implicate ourselves in something so that we can be taken away with Una?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Well, I admire your loyalty.
it's Una. Come on.
I think I'm gonna leave you guys devices there, and I'm just gonna go freeze dried coffee.
Okay.
It's on the right side. Don't forget.
Yeah. Roll to not forget. I'm just kidding.
One looks like coffee, one doesn't. Go
Like
for the one that looks like coffee.
Okay, I'm just gonna go ask a guard where they're taking her.
You're my boss. You have the right to ask.
Yeah.
Roll rapport.
So +3.
Okay.
Can I ask where you're taking my employee? She's involved in some very important projects, and as her manager, I feel like I need to know at least a timeline of when she's going to be back.
Whose manager are you?
Una Manos?
She's implicated in a crime, and we need to sort that out. She'll be back when we're done.
Implicated in a crime?
Yes.
Can I ask the nature of the crime?
Data theft.
Data theft. She's a lab technician. I don't think she has access to data. Okay.
She has access to her own projects.
To her own projects. All right. Can I have someone contact me when she's been released?
Absolutely. You're her manager. You'll be informed in the process. You should have an email showing up soon as to how the processing will proceed.
Okay, I'll just go wait by my email. I'm gonna tug Milton behind me back to our room. I don't care. Fitz, are you coming? Are you coming, Fitz? Are you coming with us? Are you getting the ice cream?
No.
You're staying
That's
out
not a
there.
yes or no question, Fitz. All in mine. Bring the
As
coffee,
they-
whatever. It's hitting the fan. I would suggest coming with me. So we're gonna back to my office and check the email, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, it says she's been lined up for processing with the Inquisitors.
Processing.
Oh, jeez.
You don't know yet.
What are the Inquisitors?
You would have heard of them. Every company has the interrogation squads because they are the
Their own
government, they are
brand.
law.
Okay, this is ruffling my feathers. So
This
Fitz,
is this company, and she knows things about you that are wrong. I mean, she doesn't know everything about you, but enough that it would be a problem if she started squealing every last dark secret she has ever heard. And she is
What did you
naive
need?
enough to just give everything they want in a moment's notice.
okay, IT
so.
boy, I'm gonna need you to do something for me.
To do what?
I said, okay, IT boy, I'm gonna need you to do something.
Whenever you say the last part, it cuts out.
I said, okay,
Something
IT
for me.
boy, I'm gonna need you.
Oh,
to
okay. Gotcha.
I need to know where Una is at, who has her, and how I can get to her.
What's in it for me?
I mean, not breaking your pinkies at this moment.
It's pretty compelling.
Yeah.
Roll provoke. You're threatening him. And Fitz, I'm gonna have you defend with Will.
I don't have that one, so
It's gonna be +0 for now.
oh baby,
2 unprovoked.
What'd
I
you
got
get?
+4.
Okay. She certainly seems capable of breaking your fingers, but the threat doesn't have any extra bearing other than that. I mean, she's obviously a very strong woman. You're pretty sure she could take you in a fight, no problem. But you also feel pretty safe with the dozens of security guards all over this wing that you don't think she'll try to harm you right here, right now. Maybe later. Not right now.
The way I see it, we're surrounded by guards who will take you down the second you try to make a move. They're on high alert for anybody doing suspicious activity. So if a man comes out with broken pinkies screaming she didn't, I think they're gonna take you.
And if a woman
So-
comes out screaming, "This man just tried to force me to access my computer and give him classified information," who do you think they're going to believe?
I have a pretty vested interest in this too. So maybe you ought to just like find out where Una is, or I might have to let Mr. Flavin know about maybe a potential need for some downsizing. Because I mean,
All right.
you did like for sure fail at your job if someone like got in and was stealing all kinds of data.
This isn't my department.
All right, man.
I'm not even supposed
Do you
to be
think?
here
Do you think
today.
that Flavin knows that?
Yeah,
Do you think Flavin has any
begs
idea
the
of that?
question. This isn't your department, so what were you doing here to begin with? If this wasn't your department, why were you here to begin with?
I sigh and then go over to her computer and stuff to hack it, I guess.
Roll burglary, because you're breaking into a system you probably should not be in.
Should I use my stunt?
Yeah, roll your burglary skill.
All right, I called it encrypted bypass.
I like it.
All right, I rolled a terrible.
-2?
Nice.
Yeah, -2.
Okay, with your +4 puts it at 2. She is scheduled to be processed by Inquisitor Telex in about a half hour. You have the room. It's only about 5 minutes away. You also get the feeling that you could probably, with your expertise.
Oh, am I supposed to add tech to it as well? Because I use both of them.
I did that.
Oh, okay, I
added
gotcha,
plus
gotcha.
2 after adding that. No, you just add burglary, so it's +2.
Oh, okay.
You could also probably fool these guards by switching your clearance type over to security for the three of you if you want to try and find her for whatever reason.
Well, then we need to get uniforms.
Can I roll for... We don't need uniforms, per se, if it's... I mean, white collar doesn't wear uniforms.
Yeah. They all have uniforms, but you could probably deceive them and say you're undercover or something. I mean, these guys are not, like, high ups. All the executives in the security division are in Flavin's office. Everyone else here is just a grunt security guard. So if one is convincing enough to pass off, hey, we're here undercover, we need to go and report into our boss, please let us through.
I got deceive. I got this.
Oh, wait, hang on. I gotta tell you. You don't know this yet.
Okay.
All right, so here's what I can do for you guys. I can get us all security clearance, but we're gonna have to do some finagling to get past these guards.
Okay, tech boy, leave the talking to me.
So you want the security?
What?
So you want the security change?
Correct.
Do I have to roll for that?
No.
No.
That's easy enough
Okay.
for you.
He said
You want to switch all three of you or just her?
Milton, you want in?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, all three.
Okay. So you are all officially employees of the security sector now. You had to put Milton as your manager because he's higher clearance.
Alright.
Okay, so what are you saying first?
We're gonna go up to the guards.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go up to the guards and tell them that we've been requested in Flavin's office. Is it Flavin or Flavin?
Flavin is in
Flavin.
the wing. You won't need to do that. You need to get out of the wing. He's in there with you guys.
Oh, I wasn't understanding the schematics of this then. Oh, so we were
Sorry.
requested. Oh, okay.
Out. We need to go somewhere else, out of the wing.
Right.
Oh, okay. He's also... This is a giant ass wing.
It
okay.
is huge.
And she's 5 minutes away. Alright, so then I'm gonna go up and...
5 minutes of walking is a pretty long walk in an office.
It's a good little walk.
I'm gonna go up and tell them that our presence has been requested and we need to be let through.
On whose authority?
On ours. And I'm gonna
ID
show them our
cards.
security clearances.
Okay. Roll report.
What?
Will that be report?
Oh, it can be deceive. You're lying to his face. Never mind.
So I got 3 for deceive.
He's gonna defend. 3 as well. So you take +1 forward. It's a tie. Seems you're in here twice. Why is that? It says you're a lab technician. You're also security.
Can I butt in or no?
System.
Yeah, you may.
Okay. I gently nudge her aside. That was a fault on the IT guys. We just swapped departments, so I had to put in a request form, but they obviously didn't do it right. If you'll excuse us, we gotta get going. We're highly requested right now.
Okay, I need you to roll deception.
Okay. I roll a fair 2 plus 2.
Sounds fair. I'm having problems with a couple of the IT guys anyways. Going through.
And now we go.
You only got a 1, so... Okay.
Sigh loudly.
You guys have escaped the wing.
And so then I assume we go to the room where Una is?
Yes.
Yeah, post haste.
Go ahead and roll stealth, all three of you, because you're not really supposed to be seen in the Inquisitor's wing. Just want to see if anyone has a catastrophic failure on stealth.
Now, what would be considered a catastrophic failure?
You tell me and I'll tell you.
I rolled a -3.
That might be catastrophic.
I have
Oh,
a 1.
jeez. I got a 4, but I guess that doesn't matter.
I stomped through the halls like an elephant.
You got a 4?
Yeah.
So you notice that Fitz is just stomping around. He's talking loudly. You hear someone put down their papers in one of the offices. You just slap your hand on his mouth and make a silent gesture with your hand and nudge him into an empty cubicle. You hear someone's footsteps walking out. A few moments of silence, and then he walks back in. You're able to cover for his failure. You proceed on, and you get to the room and you look through the little. There's those little prison sliders that you can open up and you can see through. And even that, it has a one-way mirror, so only you can see her. But she's just kind of sitting there, eating her coffee-flavored,
Swinging her feet.
freeze-dried ice cream, just not a care in the world, has no idea she's about to go through hell on earth. And you guys have got, from according to the email, about 20 minutes to get her the hell out of here. The door does have an electronic lock, so you can hack that if you wish, Fitz. But if you fail, they're going to be alerted that something's wrong.
And that's the only kind of opening into the room, is that door?
Either that or do some social engineering, and one of you try to convince one of the Inquisitors that you need to remove her from the building. It's your choice how you approach it, or try to.
All right. So
If you're really desperate, you could try to crawl through an air vent somewhere. I mean, get
We'll
creative.
try to convince the Inquisitors that we are also questioning her and pull her early for additional questioning.
That's an approach you can try. You guys should discuss that real quick and make a decision and go with that. Whatever.
all right, so we reached a blockade. So here's the deal. I could hack it, but if I get caught, we're gonna be in some deep shit.
Alright, go for it. If you get caught, we'll throw you under the bus.
Okay, here goes, I guess. I rolled what is this? An average 1.
Plus your skill.
Yeah.
Burglary.
It's 5.
5. That is just enough. Yes, you're able to open the door, and I think Jen is here. Yay! So you're sitting in here. There's this metal, uncomfortable chair, but you're making the best of it with your coffee, ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big, giant metal room,
Uh-huh.
kind of like a prison cell, but you're trying to make the best of it. You hear a little sliding metal noise.
How long have I been in here?
About 10 minutes.
Okay. So at about 5.5 minutes is when I hit my boredom level, because I have the, if I'm not doing something, I'm bored out of my mind.
Okay.
So I'm going to turn on the AR. Has anyone in the augmented reality been in this room before and tagged it?
Oh God, you've made a mistake. I need you to roll well.
Will?
What you see cannot be unseen in the Inquisitor's rooms. Yeah, because when you turn it on, you just see grotesque scenes of violence just recorded for all eternity in this place. Just
So
blood
other
spattered
people...
and hacksaws going to people's shoulders. It's just
Like
disturbing.
cigar cutters to pinkies.
Yeah.
So it's other
The type
people
of-
who
the
have
type of
been
things
here
that
before
happen. Yes.
have left behind
Yes.
as many files as they could.
Yes.
You said roll will?
Will.
So that's a +1. So 4.
It doesn't. You don't take any mental stress, but you really suddenly don't want to be in this room anymore.
Can I use AR to see if anyone had left a file, like an arrow pointing to an air duct saying exit here or something like that?
As you're looking around, the door opens and you see these three.
Oh, okay.
When you start looking around desperately, you see a sign that says, "Abandoned hope all ye who enter here." Nope, not helpful. And then the door starts opening. You're like, I don't know how to defend myself. And luckily you see friendly faces opening that door.
Hi, guys. I'm do a quick twitch thing with my finger so that it's a macro. It tags Gwen was here on whatever I'm looking at, which happens to be near the door because that's when they walk in. So if anyone who plays my AR, who does the AR is in here, I have tagged the space.
You've echoed.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't come into the room. I'm outside by the door.
I feel like Milton.
You stay outside. Okay.
Yeah, I stay outside.
You shouldn't lollygag. Just saying.
I would like to leave now.
Yeah, we gotta get out of here.
Milton, I feel like you, with the highest security clearance and more seniority in the company, would know where we should go to hide. I don't know if the full building is under lockdown, but
I really don't want to be in here anymore. I turned off the AR.
How far do we have to go to just get out? And
I
onto
lean
the
into
street?
the room and I say, "We're not. You guys don't have to be in there anymore because you guys are just standing there talking. We could go somewhere else and talk. You know."
Yes, please.
Milton, is your office?
fun.
Would your office be secure?
The accounting wing is one of the
Yeah,
most
it's-
secure because you have all the financial information. As far
Money.
as but that also has the downside of if they lock it down, they really lock the hell out of it down. So it's secure.
Yeah.
Like no one's
We
going to be
could,
spying on you there.
Is there
But
like a cafeteria? Because I feel
Oh, yeah.
like no one's gonna lock that.
there's
down.
several cafeterias.
No one's
yes.
gonna lock down the cafeteria.
The thing is, though, that you were scheduled to get tortured in a few minutes. So when they find that you've been sprung, I feel like the entire building's probably going to get locked down, and we need to get out of the
This
building.
building is miles big, though. I mean, if you can walk 5 minutes and it's
I guess you're right.
just.
Are there any elevators where we are now?
Yes, close by.
Are they locked or can we just go in them?
You have to go there and find out.
Okay.
You can check real quick on your pad. Go ahead and roll.
I'm going to walk out of the room and stand in the hallway and pull up the AR to see if there's any hints that anyone else has ever left on how to get the hell out of here.
Roll there.
All right. I rolled a mediocre 0.
0? Okay. With your clearance and your tech score, the
So that makes
elevators,
it 3.
the elevators are not currently locked down. You should be able to use them. They can also take you to the roof if you want to jump off a 15-story building, and the garage, where I'm assuming at least one of you, probably all of you, have cars down there. If you wanted to get the hell out of here, you could get in one of your cars and I'll take off, or take off individually. But you're also seeing, just kind of as you're doing a quick search, you're seeing a bulletin being sent out to the parking station attendants. Just keep the cameras on and keep an eye on the cameras. They don't have anyone specific they're looking for, but just they're supposed to keep note of anyone who's leaving and who they're leaving with.
So the cameras tell me that the elevators aren't locked, but there are people downstairs taking log of who leaves and who comes in. So it's probably not the wisest decision to go downstairs and gallivant through the security points.
Yeah.
The only other option we have is to go to the roof and try to get out of there. Get out of here that way.
I would go parking garage.
You notice, as you're looking around, there's a message sent that just says they see everything, and it's got arrows pointing in several different directions. As you look, you see these tiny little specks of micro cameras in each of those locations. They definitely have seen the four of you together.
Can I claim an extra at this point?
Yeah.
I feel like if deception is my bag,
Mm-hmm.
and as our biometrics, would I not contain the technology either in hand or in implantation form to quickly do a scanner fooling changeover?
Like,
does that make sense?
be able to change your appearance?
Yes.
Or,
Yeah. A la the secretary in Fifth Element who's tap tap, different hair color. You know what I mean?
fuck
But,
yeah.
enough, and perhaps not enough that it's drastically in person, but enough that the scanning algorithms they use for facial recognition are gonna not match me
Yes.
and not be a hit.
Yes. I would make that a stunt. Give it a cool name, and I think the effect is
Chameleon effect.
roll deceive to convince someone they've never seen you before, even if they have, basically, to kind of like
Roll
retro.
deceive to
Not right
full
now.
Facial recognition?
Not
Oh.
right now when you use it, but the
So are we
effect is-
playing off the stuff they have in their head to trick them?
Yeah.
What's that?
I might could get us out of here if we could get to the roof.
Okay.
Okay.
And how's that?
I'm curious as to what it is, but your talent basically will be if you succeed at it, they will forget they've ever seen you before, essentially, because you have a totally new face. They won't recognize you at all. They'll treat you like a brand new person, and you can work on a new identity from there.
Okay.
But if it fails, then maybe you didn't adjust it far enough. Maybe they recognize the rest of your body shape, and I put one and one together. They might notice the fact that something's wrong.
Okay.
Guys, there are micro cameras all over in this room. We're seen together. We need to go.
Yeah. Well,
You got one of
I
them
could
fancy
make a
private
call and-
helicopters?
yeah, that's what I'm thinking is getting to the roof and flying away.
Yeah, roofs make me nervous
And it-
because I don't fly. So.
Any of you know how to fly?
Well, I mean, if I like moved money around and like ordered some kind of plane, it would probably come with a pilot to like fly it up there.
Roll resources.
Okay. And that is 4.
Total.
Yeah, total.
You've got a helicopter pilot on standby just in case. He's 5
All right.
minutes away.
Does he have a plane? I was gonna say I have contacts if we needed to.
He's got resources. He's paid for it in advance.
Okay.
He's just given this guy a gigantic ass sum of money and said, always be ready.
Okay.
What are you doing up, Liam?
I need you to take a 10-minute.
Okay.
That
10-minute break.
his
my-
cat's name or something?
No, my son. He's 2 and he's not supposed to be awake right now. So I'm going to take a 10-minute break. I'll be right back.
So.
All right, I'll go get a snack.
Well, yeah. Are we decided that we're doing roof then?
I'm good with roof.
I guess if we have a
I'm good with
helicopter-
roof, yeah.
Roofs would make me nervous if we didn't have a helicopter or pilot on standby. Do you have a plan?
And
for
can you
going once
can you
we-
call them right now?
Yeah, I was just gonna like send him my
Do we have?
the-
Do we
the
have
bird.
a plan with where he's taking us?
away from the building. I don't know.
Does anybody?
I'm kind of already in an elevator going, we'll figure that out when we get there. Hitting the button going, come on, guys.
All right.
I'm
I
I guess we'll
pushing
get
you 'cause
I guess
really
we'll get
don't
the
wanna
elevator and go to
jumped
the
into.
to the next floor, to the top, to the roof.
Yep.
Elevator to the top floor.
To the top. Sorry.
I think that like figuring out somewhere to go would require like more knowledge about the world and the factions and stuff. I'm
Yeah.
not really sure.
As we're headed up, I'm going to go.
Well, you live completely above board, so I highly
Yeah.
doubt that you would have.
I don't. Well,
I don't even know what a safe house is.
No, but I think I'm so. Because I play AR games. I think I'm so, but I'm
Yeah.
not.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, Milton, I say this as Jacqueline. Milton, out of curiosity, how do you have a pilot on standby? I feel like I'm missing something here.
You have a pilot? Sweet.
I gotta be honest, I feel like maybe I went to the wrong department if the accountants can afford pilots on standby.
Jeez, maybe it just pays more than you. Maybe it just pays more than you know.
That's a lot more than I know.
Yeah. How about
Dude, I
that?
knew down in Louisiana there was some money. I just didn't know that you came from it, man.
I think you said the word Louisiana and then you cut out completely.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Kind of like, hey, I didn't know you came from money. That's cool. That's about the extent of it. She's texting into her game, seeing if anyone in her league is IRL nearby.
Oh my god, you did.
Yeah.
So I have.
Like she's what? Let's say if this is Pokemon based, which it's not, but if it was like Pokemon based, she's, putting out a ping to the yellow team.
Gym. Oh.
Because she would totally be the yellow team.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That kind of thing.
But she's so cool, though.
She thinks she is.
She is so cool. I keep thinking that's a sorting hat out of the bottom of my head.
Nope.
Which, because I am.
Yep. I'm actually playing Lego Harry Potter right now at home, years 1 through 4. I'm at 64% done with the game, and it's just driving me nuts. Trying to find all the little characters and all the little things.
Have you seen the deck building game?
The deck building game?
The Harry Potter deck building.
Yes, I've played it once.
We have it, and I got the extension pack for Christmas.
Oh, sweet.
It's a commitment, man. After because deck building, after like year 4 or 5, like it's gonna take an evening. It takes a while to put. With the expansion pack, by the time you hit book 7, like you're just planning on that being all day.
Fair enough.
I mean, worth it. It's a good day, but it's definitely it's hours.
Hey, I'm here.
Not sure if it goes faster or slower drunk, but that's
Yeah.
how we play it.
I'm here on Tolkien Day. They're having a Tolkien festival thing up at the McMinnville, and they're showing the movies and costume contests and all that shit. I'm here instead, so you guys must obviously be important.
Wait, that's tonight?
Yeah. It's my bag.
When is... Tell Day's not till like April though, right?
No, it's not till April.
Tell Day.
Though, there's a possibility... Hi
give
guys,
extra-
sorry, we're geeking out in like 3 different directions, so I'm sorry about that.
I definitely give extra credit to my kids once for celebrating Tell Day. I was like, if you can accurately celebrate Tell Day, I will, one kid came with a towel and a satchel and a button that said "Don't panic," and I was like, "Winner!" Oh, 25th of May. Wow, that's later than I was thinking it was.
There's a possibility that Ed's going to be going to Kent, Washington, which is one of the cities that the Mercyverse book takes place in.
Oh.
So we're talking about doing a reread of the first couple books in the Mercyverse and then doing a tour, like when he's off work, of, hey, this is the bridge that the Fae destroyed in book blah, 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 and this is the, area of town where such and such horrible experience happened.
That's what it's like when you watch Twilight. Hey, that's where I live. Or select episode parts of Grimm.
Yeah.
God, they think they're so cool.
Library.
We're gonna shut down one of the 2 bridges leading into your town because we're filming. Aren't you impressed with their filming? No, we're not. We're not impressed with their filming. Sorry, I'm like ranting about. I don't know where you guys are at, but we're outside of Portland, and.
Yeah, they were shooting librarians in. What is the name of that town? It's right outside Covington. It's just over that way a
Shooting
little bit.
librarian?
There is a Covington. But...
Yeah. They were shooting Cornelius. Anyway, it begins with a C and it's over that way a little bit. And Ed and I were like, well, we've heard that they've like changed some street signs and they've put up a fake city sign and stuff. So we were thinking of doing the whole tourist trap thing and going and taking pictures of ourselves with that shit.
Oh yeah.
And then we realized that we didn't want to be those people. So we didn't. But
that's
we
like
were
when
this close.
Portlandia shut down downtown Troutdale to film a scene and. And I'm like, well, that's nice for you, and I'm sure you think that we all want to bow over backwards, but I have a hair appointment, and I just had to walk 3 blocks because of you, so no. You're funny, Fred Armisen, but it's like 80 degrees out right now. I did not need to walk 3 blocks in the heat. I was mad. 3 city blocks in the heat for Portlandia.
Ugh. I don't like the
It's
show
just
anyway.
gone downhill so bad.
It feels like it's making fun of us as opposed to having fun with us.
Well, the first couple seasons were like, oh my gosh, truth. But now it's just like, well, it's the same sketches over and over again, and they take forever to get to the punchline, and it's punchline that we all got to 6 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah. Put a bird on it. That like almost peed myself when that happened. But then, oh my god, it's true. But now it's like we get it. The New Age or New Renaissance. It's the bookstore, and it's totally supposed to be a New Renaissance bookstore. Like, that's totally what it's supposed to be. Have you been there on 23rd and like Raleigh-ish area? It's by Good Sam and Linfield Hospital.
I don't know, but I'm gonna write it down because
it's meh. It's
New
but
Renaissance.
It's, yeah, New Renaissance.
Oh no, I know I've been there.
Yeah, well,
The
there's actually
trolley
more
drops
than
off
once.
like really close
Right.
to there, right?
Yes, exactly. Trolley drops off at like 23rd and I want to say
Because there was a time when we first moved out here that I was trying to find every witchy pagany shop that I could find.
They do hit that up, yeah.
So that I could, because I'm still trying to find a coven out here. I still haven't found one that I like.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was trying to see if there's any place, advertising open
yeah.
groups or anything like that. And everyone out here's an effing solitary. Or they've already got established covens that are like ages old. And,
You can't sit with us.
Yeah.
Right?
Like,
They're
you
like
can't
Mean
join
Girls
if
coven.
your grandparents weren't also a member of this,
With how many
denomination
transplants in California
shit,
we have,
and
I'm
it's like,
amazed that we don't have
I'm not a heritage, I'm not a legacy.
Only in Portland are the pagans cliquey.
Oh my god, they're so cliquey. And it's like,
Sweet Jesus. Oh,
I
that's so
came
funny.
from a town in the fucking middle of nowhere, Nebraska, and we had one coven in the whole goddamn state, and I was a member of it.
You're like, wait, I came from getting ostracized for being a pagan to getting ostracized for not being pagan enough.
I know, right? I was trying to...
Happy ground. Happy
And then
ground.
I found an open group, but they're druids, and I'm like, okay, I'll give this a try. And after a bit, I'm like, not my bag. I'm really great that you love trees, and that you get to do your services in a tree-filled environment, and I
We
love
live in a rainforest, yeah.
and that you get, but I'm much more eclectic, and this is very one note for me. I need
Oh
other
my gosh,
things.
nothing is funnier though than my 5-year-old throwing shade at somebody going, we live in a rainforest, it's just not tropical.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's great. I'm like, maybe yes. It's great. It's hilarious. But speaking of like mystical, we have this this pipe that like it feeds from an underground spring. This underground spring is downhill of farmland. Everybody in town knows like don't drink out of this. And this pipe is on scenic highway, so there's no shoulders. We're already like about to kill a cyclist every day because they drive in the middle of the road. Like, it's already not that safe, and it tees in with this other road. Currently, there's gravel at the base of this slanted hill. Like, it's a death trap as it is. People keep stopping there to fill up. It got on the list of like natural springs, and people keep stopping. My hand to God, it feeds through a rusty pipe in the side of a hill that is downhill from cow pies. And people
are filling their water bottle with that shit?
No, like 5-gallon tub or bottles, stuff like that, and they'll fill like tankers with them. And in the meantime, like park into the street on a 1-lane street. You know what I mean? Like, and it's dangerous. I've had people slam on their brakes there to whip a Yui and like almost kill me and my kids. So because I'm vindictive, and so is everybody else in my one-horse town. We've also actions we've taken. Originally, we were just posted signs saying non-potable water. People kept tearing down the signs. People tried to put up traffic cones, and like it's also a no parking area, but things like that wasn't working. Somebody may or may not have started delivering roadkill there. We're not naming any names, although we all know who it was. Started delivering roadkill there, and that cut down on the traffic for a while, but then it kicked back up again, so we just started calling the police on them. Every time we see somebody parked there, if they are an inch over the line, we call the police. They're parked in a road. It's a road hazard. Anytime someone slams on their brakes and whips an illegal U-turn, we call the police. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, squeaky wheel gets the oil, people. Like, let's get this closed down. And this summer, if it still is an issue, we have a piece of gutter that Brian and I are going to weld to it that drops the water down from the like 4-inch pipe or 4-foot up pipe down to the ground so that it spills out too low for them to fill it. But I'm like,
non-potable water.
Because people are like, oh, because it's a natural spring, and I'm like, I feel like this word natural is not meaning what you think it means.
It's a rusty pipe coming out of the Goram ground.
I do not think this word means what you think this means. It's natural spring fed. But I'm like, and this river, like to your left, is also glacier melt, sandy, glacier melt fed, I should say. And farmland runoff. So it's about as clean take a look at it. You notice how you don't want to go drink the Sandy River water?
Yeah, that's just nasty.
It's the same, it's the same water quality. And Jesus, it's just, but I'm like, oh my gosh.
Like people who come into Nebraska and
people.
drink out of the fucking they've got pumps everywhere for pumping out of the Ogallala aquifer.
Yeah.
And there are people who drink out of the aquifer straight. And I'm like...
Minerals for days, oh my gosh.
Not only minerals for days, but
Chloe.
There's been agriculture
Seepage.
dumping onto that for generations,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's a...
has to be choline phosphate with your...
So, there's this long discussion, debate thing. There's been a serious issue with reproductive cancers and reproductive issues for people who live off the
in
aquifer.
That region.
In that region. My
God,
brother...
it's like Aaron Brockovich.
My brother and I are both infertile.
Mm.
My mother is infertile. We were adopted to her, so it's not like it was genetically we're infertile.
Right, yeah.
Out of her and her 3 siblings, there were 4 of them. 2 of them are infertile.
Mm-hmm.
2 of those 4. Out of my dad's family of 3 kids, 2 of them were infertile. 2 out of 3.
Those are high numbers, yeah.
Of my friends from high school, over half are infertile.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, or have had cancer of some genetic variety, or both.
It's called a cluster, people.
And people come there and drink out of the stuff that comes out of the well, and I'm like...
Pretty sure your nuts are just going to fall off.
Like, I've got, one of my good friends, Panda, is going to be up here at the end of the month. She's flying up to visit her girlfriend who lives in Washington. And she has terminal cancer. And she has terminal rectal cancer.
Yeah,
and she's 25.
Yeah.
How can you think that that's normal?
That happened when I was, it was 2 grades above me in Troutdale when I was growing up. They had a cancer cluster, pediatric cancer cluster, and it was 3 different kids who all lived within blocks of each other.
Oh.
They all went to the same elementary school, and all within like a year of each other developed different rare forms of. Let's see, 2 of them died. One of them didn't, but he had like they removed part of his lung, they removed part of his knee. It was all like he didn't survive easily, and they tested the shit out of everything. Well, Troutdale water tastes funny to begin with. So there was this whole thing for a long time, like, don't drink the water, Troutdale, don't drink the water, Troutdale. Like, a lot of people wouldn't drink it and they'd bottle it in, but they tested the power lines, they tested everything. They could not find anything. And then it, not like went away, but it was just this one generation, and like one class generation. They were all in the same graduating class. Spike. And they never found out why. Yeah.
That's so weird.
Guess who's back, motherfuckers?
My apologies.
Sorry, we went on
fine.
tangential air. Thank you for flying tangential air. We now return you to your
You may
regularly
have
scheduled
scared them
game.
off.
Speaking of flying, are you going to take a helicopter out?
Hmm?
Also, Durfee, you're muted, just in case you don't know that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was watching YouTube.
Okay.
We were all sort of in the elevator heading out, and I sort of like texted the code word to the guy.
Okay. So you guys decided on the helicopter?
Yes, we did.
I have one quick question. I was reading Fate Hand. So, what fate points? How do we get?
Huh?
Are we not using them?
Sorry, can you say that one again? You kind of cut out.
I was reading through the handbook, the Fate Handbook, and what are fate points?
They're what you spend in order to invoke your aspects to give you a +2 or to re-roll your dice if they turned out really badly.
And that's at the end of every phase? Or when we
At
use
the beginning
those?
whenever you roll the dice, you can use a fate point to get a +2.
Oh, okay, but we didn't assign any of those?
I'm sorry, I didn't mention. You all have 3. You get
Okay.
You get 3 to start with each session.
Alrighty.
So yeah, whenever you roll something and one of your aspects is relevant, you invoke that aspect, spend a fate point, and you get to either re-roll or get a +2 to the result.
Gotcha.
Okay. So you head up to the rooftop. You notice just immediately going out, Jacqueline would notice that there are several cameras up here too. You're gonna have to be careful to not be spotted, and it's gonna look incredibly suspicious right in the middle of a giant data breach to have you all showing up on the roof.
Oh, I feel like that ship has sailed.
Could all four of you please roll notice for me while you're up here?
Oh, dang it, I don't have a notice.
Notice.
Am I using my AR or am I noticing something in real life?
Which one are you doing?
Well, I still have my AR on.
Okay.
I got a +2. Fair.
Got a 0.
0?
Yep.
+1.
And what'd you get?
Am I rolling my AR or my notice?
That's up to you.
If I roll my AR, it's a 4.
Okay. Una, you notice there's a strange symbol somewhere in the distance. Like, it's a big-ass building. This building takes up 20 city blocks.
Okay, so there's lots of little, like,
You're in the
air
middle.
bridges and stuffing.
You're kind of like in the middle of a capital of this continent,
Okay.
because this is where headquarters is. So it's the capital. And way off, near where one of the ledges, one of the edges of this building are, because your elevator's in one of the corners.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not too far from you, maybe a couple minutes walk. You see this little tiny symbol that you don't recognize. Actually, roll lore to see if you recognize it. You may have seen it before. It's very unlikely.
It's a wash, so 4.
Jeez. Oh, that's right. Lore is your high stat, isn't it?
Yep, I'm a multi-potentialite.
Yeah, why not? You've seen this before.
Sure.
It's a famous hacker symbol. He goes by the alias Matrix. And it's moving as if it's attached to someone or something over there.
I'm going to just say it because I'm naive like that. Dude, Matrix's hacker symbol is just walking down the ledge over there.
Fitz, you know of Matrix, obviously. He's so arrogant that he keeps his symbol right above him at all times in AR. He might be on the roof right now. He may actually also be the one who stole the data.
Yeah, geez.
So does he have like invisibility stuff or what?
She's using augmented reality and looking around. She notices hacker tag is above his head, and you would know as a hacker fellow that he does that just because he's arrogant. He constantly has it following him around in augmented reality.
Mm.
So one of his devices is on the roof of this building. That much.
So where is he?
He's over by one of the ledges of the building.
Okay. So wait, did she already say that he's a hacker?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I roll to see if I've met him in a past job? Or no?
Matrix, yes. Roll contacts.
2.
No.
So I guess I decide that we need to try and get him, and I tell them that we need to try to figure out what's causing the symbol.
Yeah, totally. I'm really excited at the idea of actually meeting the Matrix. So I'm like giddy running in that general direction.
Off she goes.
Oh yeah,
And we
I'm
follow.
cybernetically enhanced like a couple different ways at this point.
Okay.
So
Everyone's going over there, I assume?
Yep.
So as you're going, Milton, you're like texting new coordinates for your helicopter to pick you up over at that corner of the building rather than where the elevator was, just to keep them up to date so this runs as smooth as possible. You run around it's kind of a maze of like ventilation pipes. And you know how some very large buildings have all those pipes on the top, on the roof. This is similar to that situation. So you're weaving and winding, and when you finally get around the corner to the point where you have a clear view of the ledge, you do in fact see a man. He's got a little, I'll say it's like a tablet device, only it's projecting all these holograms of like 20 different screens, and he's just whipping his eyes back from screen to screen, typing something at the same time as he's apparently multitasking like a motherfucker. Just looking at all these different screens, taking in a ton of data all at once. He doesn't seem to have noticed you yet. He does have, however, 2 small, not that small, they're drones. They're flying in the air, and they're maybe a foot tall. They're like big, heavy, armored drones that look like they're probably personal guards for him, more than just data devices. They've got heavy plate, heavy metal armor on them. You can't see the front, but they maybe also be armed with weapons. You don't know. You also probably don't want to know. You get the feeling. So how do you want to approach the situation? Just raising your hand?
Yeah, no, I have something that I'm going to be doing, but I want to make sure that everyone else who's actually going to be actively doing something as opposed to my passive thing gets to go first.
Okay. Is anyone going to act on this?
On contacting?
Yeah.
Or what are you going to do? There's this dude doing this thing. What do you do?
Well, I want to know what
Is
he's
it-
doing because I was trying to do something similar but on a smaller scale, and
Roll
he's
investigate.
obviously,
To take a really good look at him.
yeah, he's obviously
Him.
stolen my thunder here.
Wait for it.
And we'll go
Do
to
I
you.
count it or do I roll again?
I would say you count.
Roll again.
Okay.
Oh, you
What?
can count it if it's a plus. I don't care.
So in that case, 4.
Would it be possible for me to plant, like a Trojan or something?
You can certainly try.
You can,
Roll burglary.
so you're going to be
Or
cross-hacking
Schling's
his hacking?
Yeah, you're trying to jack his Wi-Fi and put something nasty on his hardware. You got a 4?
Yeah, dude.
I get a 4.
You have an aspect you can add because you missed, but just barely.
Okay.
Do any of your
Yeah,
aspects make sense?
my aspect
Hold on
is,
1 second. We're gonna resolve Caitlin's first.
Alright.
Do any of those
well,
5
corporate espionage specialist is one
That
of
makes
them.
sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're down to 2 fate points right now. You succeed. You notice that from this tablet he's holding, there's a wire going straight down into the roof, and there's been a hole drilled to bypass the like paint lining that this whole building has. So he's actually drilled into the network itself. He's hacked the building old school. He's put a hole through it, and then he's hacked his wire into probably a mainstream data cable. So very likely he's the one who's jacking this data currently.
Yeah.
Okay,
Go ahead, Fitz, and roll burglary to try and break into his...
so I got a 4.
He's going to defend automatically because his system would do that. He's got an 8.
I have an 8 as well.
Oh shit! You rolled 4 on the dice.
Yeah.
Damn.
Dude! 4 pluses!
Oh
That's
my
like
God.
an epic win.
I'm gonna give it to you then. There's a tie, but I'm giving it to you. Yeah, you break it. You break through his incredibly dense firewall system.
But my 7 on investigate got me dick. Still bitter.
There's some good stuff on there. You just need to take time.
When we're like we were being chased, I should have done that 10 minutes that we were gone.
You've got a helicopter ride coming. Don't worry. You've
Oh,
got
when-
what you want. You'll have to find.
When the helicopter gets here, I'm gonna have to take a break. I just gotta.
Oh, we're gonna be done in a few minutes.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
we're never gonna go past 11 o'clock. Somewhere
Yeah.
my time, somewhere between 10 and 11 is when we're gonna quit. We're almost there. But anyways, you break through just barely, without triggering any of his alerts. He is indeed downloading enormous amounts of data from the company mainframes. He has gone through medical, he's gone through chemistry, he's gone through several other divisions. It looks like he's going for the entire damn thing. Just one by one, downloading all the databases and remote backing them up to a server somewhere on the world. He's sending it wirelessly through a satellite uplink that he has commandeered for himself. So all this data is flying to God knows where.
So with the Trojan that I put on, can I?
You want to trace him?
I wanna plant it on him so I can know where he's putting all the stuff. You know, like I can.
For now, yes. As soon as he finds
Okay.
it, he's going to get rid of it, and that's not going to be very long from now. But at the moment, you can track him.
So I want to put it into the data streams that he's sending off wherever they go, so we can figure out where he's putting all the stuff.
Okay. Yeah. It'll get back to you when it has a chance. It won't be instantaneous. Okay. Milton or... Yeah, you can go.
As soon as we had physical visual line with him,
Mhm.
I'm recording.
Okay. Roll AR.
ball sack. AR, I ended up rolling a 2.
Black screen appears the moment you start recording. He has automated defenses against being recorded in AR.
Dude! Alright.
Also, you will hear a beeping going off on his device. He turns around and sees you all standing there.
Oof.
Melton, you're the only one who hasn't done anything yet. Do you want to do anything as he's turning around?
No,
You see your helicopter in the distance, by the way. It's only a minute or two from here.
Screech and run away.
That'd be in character, but this is important. But no, I don't have anything to do.
Okay. So he turns around and looks a little shocked, and the two drones turn around. They both have like little pistols that have been torn apart and put on there. So it's not like heavy machinery, but they could do a little bit of damage if they needed to.
Milton, offer him a ride.
Hi.
Okay.
And then Matrix speaks up. Hi. I'm security. Just doing a little sweep. Doing a perimeter sweep here. You guys need to leave. Go back inside, and we'll let you know when everything's okay. Like nervously looking up at his screens, and then back at you guys again.
Can I pull my naive card?
Sure.
I'm like, oh my god, Matrix! I never thought I'd actually meet you in person. I'm like gonna run up to him, going, "Can I get your autograph?"
As you run up, both the drone's guns to aim at you.
Completely not caring.
No shits were given. Oh my god.
Because I'm passionate for a challenge.
Roll rapport to see if you get shot by these drones, or if you've convinced him to not consider you a threat.
I turned off my AR because, obviously,
It wasn't doing
it wasn't doing any good anyway. So +2 plus rapport, you said?
Yes.
Well, I think I'll just add that to my list now.
Might be a good idea.
So that totals me up at 4.
Yeah, you seem to have won him over for the moment. He's like, "You a fan of mine?"
Dude, totally! What you did with the AR in such and such situation in that one time was so awesome.
Yeah, what?
Can I get your autograph?
Sure, come on.
She pulls out, science notes, like a notebook. It's all encoded and shit, and she, flips to an empty page.
He's like, "Yeah," and he just makes a hand gesture and hands it back to you.
And I pull it up on an AR.
Oh yeah, it's his
tag.
signature. Yeah.
Sweet! It's high-pitched, almost subsonic level of sweet.
Dogs are barking somewhere.
Yes. A couple dogs start barking in nearby. But you still gotta get off the roof. Yeah.
Oh no, they're going to torture me to death, so we're leaving.
Good luck with that.
Are you why they're going to torture me to death?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm security here. I've been hired as a freelancer.
Do I believe him?
Roll empathy.
Also something I don't have. I rolled a 1.
Well, yes, you do.
Oh, alright. But if you're security, shouldn't... Okay, sorry. This is going to be a whole, next scene where I figure that part out.
Yes, it's gonna be a while.
Alright.
So what are the rest of you doing? Your helicopter's about a minute from here, Milton.
Yeah. So we're at this kind of situation where we could try to bring him in, and maybe that would make us not vigilant or not fugitives anymore. But I don't think we could do that with his drones, or we could offer him a ride. And
Let's offer this boy a ride.
I would offer the boy a ride. Fitz and Jackie are both agreeing on this. So
All aboard the party bus.
the party wagon.
all right, so listen, we know, we know, we are also fugitives, and we have a helicopter coming right now.
So you guys
Maybe
are
we could work
security
something
too,
out.
then?
Yeah, we're security, and I wink very heavily.
Okay.
Oblivious!
What's the...
I'm not secure.
What's your plan? Because I've got a way out.
Is your way out a luxury helicopter? And I gesture to my luxury helicopter.
It looks No, that looks a lot better than my way out. You willing to share? I got some money in it for you. I'll pay you for your trouble, obviously.
Yeah, maybe we could work something out.
Wonderful.
Ooh.
My download's done. He pulls the cord out and just drops it on the roof.
Shall we?
Fuck this. Let's go.
Right.
My drones are gonna have to come with me, obviously. Sure you don't have a problem with that. Your pilot won't have a problem with that either, will he?
Can they be
Yeah, fair enough.
temporarily disarmed?
No.
Can they fly outside of the helicopter while they follow us?
They're not that fast.
They'll just sit on his lap like
Can they be
dogs.
facing out of the door on the side of the helicopter?
They won't shoot you. You're fine. They're only programmed to shoot if someone actually touches me.
Ooh.
Okay.
So I'll sit on the other side of the helicopter. Looks like a pretty big. How did you afford that big of a helicopter? As it's getting closer and it's just very nice, very large.
Apparently, accounting pays very well at this company.
Black Friday deal on helicopters.
He looks at his pad. Okay, good. I got the accounting information. That'll be worthwhile later.
Bitch.
Shall we?
I was sane enough to not grab one of the drones and start filming it.
Oh, you got shot in the face.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rolled yourself.
I rolled myself, and I rolled well enough that I.
As the helicopter is landing, you hear the sound of a metal door slamming open in the distance and people yelling, "Span out! We need to find them now!"
But it's an NPC.
Oh no.
Yelling about how people were seen in the elevator heading up to the roof. But all the roof cameras have been blacked out.
Any of them. Anybody.
Right.
Matrix hears that and says, "Oh, good, your helicopter's right in time. Shall we?" And he gets on. He climbs in it.
We gotta make this like a Matrix style thing where we jump off.
You're gonna jump off the roof? That's a bad idea.
No, into the helicopter.
Oh, it's on. Okay.
Bring it upside next to us, Charlie. We're jumping in.
Like the helicopter is landed and Fitz just jumps into it.
I'm just not into the helicopter.
Like a normal person.
Yeah,
And
casually
look at
get
Fitz
the
like,
helicopter.
"I need help."
This is
I'm,
the only
I'm
time.
starting to feel like, my God, who are these people that I am with?
Honestly, I would have done it too in Fitz's shoes. I'd be like, "This is the only chance I'm going to get to jump into a helicopter. Fuck it. I don't even care if it's on dry land. I'm just going to do it."
Woo!
Yeah. The party bus is here. We're departing. So the helicopter then takes off, and there's a few gunshots you can hear. They rattle off the armored hull of this luxury, apparently criminal helicopter. You didn't even. I mean, the armor was not necessary, Milton. But you're like, just in case they find out just how much money I've taken, I want the best. So armor plating, it's worth it. No, spare no expense when it comes to my personal safety.
It's even got cup holders.
Yes, many cup holders. So many cup holders.
Seat warmers.
Got a mini fridge?
Yeah, it does.
With a passcode.
It's full of alcohol.
Ooh,
Una's
universal
drunk.
solvents.
Oh God. Nice.
Flavored universal solvent.
And I'm
So,
over here like...
Matrix
with your
is-
homemade ice cream and your universal solvents, like, Jesus.
So after everything calms down a bit and you guys have flown on, Matrix is like, "So what are they hunting you guys for?"
And then I look over and look at Milton. Embezzling.
Oh my god.
Wow, how much?
Milton.
Well,
Yeah, I guess we're all for sure fugitives now. So yeah, I've been embezzling for years, and it's like so high you probably don't have numbers for it. Yeah, but
I spit it
we're-
as fast as I can get it.
That's not relevant. We're for sure running because of you. Una
Oh.
was gonna get
Oh, they thought it was you?
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get anyone hurt.
Yeah, they had me in the torture room, dude. I downloaded the AR videos. People had uploaded their last.
Oh, can
It
I
was
see that?
horrid. Yeah,
Send
you
it,
can
send
totally.
it to me.
Here, I pull off the end of my thumb and click it into this thumb drive.
The fuck?
That's pretty good.
This is
Yeah.
terrible. Look at it.
Little thumb drive. Oh wow, that's horrible torture porn. I gotta send it to all my friends. Oh, that's terrible.
I have some friends who will pay good money for this.
We'll make a deal then.
I'm on a helicopter with people using the phrase torture porn.
Yes, you are.
I don't think those words are supposed to go together, she says as she undoes her thumb. Those...
Una. Una.
Yeah. No. Okay. Put the end of her thumb back on. It looks like a normal hand again.
I've not seen that one before. That's interesting.
All right, I'm gonna pull out my phone, PDA, whatever,
Yeah.
and see if now that we're out of the building and away from it, I can get any of my Wi-Fi or any of my access to my stuff again.
Access.
I'm gonna immediately start pulling up websites, etc. Checking my email. Maybe I've been getting pinged. Not like I have friends, but I'm on mailing lists. To see if there's any news from the outside about what's going on now.
Yes, actually there is. Go ahead and roll. Let's go with investigate. Yeah, that's a good one for this.
Oh, I investigate the shit out of that. I get a 6, which apparently won't get me much. But
Oh, shut your face. Yeah, you find your face on the news along with your 3 new companions. Apparently you are all
Hey, that's me!
data thieves who are convicted and to be killed on sight of stealing secrets from the corporate government.
Is your face on there? Is NPC's face on
Matrix?
there?
No.
Matrix.
No, he's not.
Jeez.
He blacked out all the cameras on the roof before he landed
Jesus
there.
Christ, Matrix.
What?
Way to throw us under the bus here.
What do you mean? I didn't do anything.
Neither did I.
Did you act suspiciously in the building? Did you break someone out of interrogation land?
Not me personally. That was
Hey,
fun.
You're full of it.
Alright, I'm
Um,
gonna give them a chance.
Milton, we're going to have a talk about the embezzling, aren't we?
You're really worried about that right now?
I'm totally worried about right now because I don't realize that I'm
Hey.
wanted dead or dead.
Alright, first things first, where is this helicopter going?
Where is it going, Milton?
I don't know. I might have a safe house or something.
I assume Milton would have a couple safe houses with the amount of money he's made.
We're going to my luxury island.
Are we leaving continent or are we staying continental? Continental.
I don't know. I don't know enough about the world or like what's going on to really know where.
You'd
to go.
have to pay an astonishing amount of money to be allowed to go from continent to continent without being shot down.
Yeah. This would be some kind of helicopter to travel from one continent to another.
Yes, also that. Little fusion reactor in the back. You know, no harm, don't worry. There's plenty of lead somehow on a helicopter. No, you've got a safe house, probably on a small island somewhere off the coast.
Yeah.
Or, middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
BFE.
either BFE or on an island, your choice. But you've got a safe house somewhere nearby.
At the moment, maybe that's the best idea because we kind of have Matrix at our mercy, and if we went where he was planning to go, that would not be the case. He could just like ditch us and leave us for dead.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm going to recommend, Milton, that we're going to invite ourselves to your place.
All right, sounds good. So, just one of those island safe houses that I have plenty of.
Oh, yeah.
All right, for real though, how much money did you steal?
All of it. A lot.
Yeah.
He just soloing nods to
smiles.
himself.
How much money did you steal? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got an island safe house, man.
Several.
I show them on my phone, and like the number like clips off the edge of the screen.
How did you get away with
The
this?
old school calculator is E.
That's impressive. Gee,
Yeah.
maybe I need to go legit. Apparently it pays better.
I don't think legit is how he got his money.
I mean, legit, illegit. Not just illegit. You're just-
Yeah.
So where are we heading? If anyone is suspicious of the fact that he seems perfectly calm in your helicopter, you can roll empathy right
Perfectly
now.
what? You cut out.
If you feel like your character will be suspicious of the fact that he's calm, even though he's in Milton's helicopter, having no idea where he's going,
I'm nervous as hell.
you can roll empathy to find out if he's hiding something or not.
But I don't find out much. I get a +2.
Okay.
I don't have
I'll-
I got a average 1+1.
Okay.
Jen is
Dangerous for gun
concerned.
reasons.
Milton,
Which goes, I got a 3.
you got a 3. Milton, I'm assuming you're a little worried about him as well.
Yeah. What kind of roll would that be?
Empathy.
All right.
Trying to
That'd
read
be
him.
0.
0. Okay, you got a 3,
Yeah.
Fitz. He definitely has something up his sleeve. That's why he's not worried currently. He knows that none of you are going to try to attack him because you're obviously on guard, unarmed, and his drones are more than capable of taking out the 4 of you if he needs to. But as far as if you try to kidnap him, he seems to have some other plan up his sleeve, and he's not terribly worried about that being possible.
What's going to happen to your escape route?
Mine?
Yeah.
No, it got canceled when I left.
Okay.
These little guys are my escape route. They're how I got up here.
Oh, they
You can fly?
body weight?
They're flying drones, yes. They just attach to my back and they fly me where I need to go. It's a lot slower than your luxury helicopter and a lot colder, but it works.
Interesting.
Never discredit the value of 2 very strong drones.
Not the choice I would have made, but interesting.
Would you have gotten a luxury helicopter that's ready to whisk you out at a moment's notice? Because I think that's the best choice I would have made.
Probably not. It's
If
a
I
little
had
expensive.
Enough money
Little,
to drop it.
a little
and-
rich for my blood.
I mean, if I had that much money, I would have had a luxury helicopter come pick me up too.
Since we all seem to be getting along and so friendly here, can I ask what kind of security work you were doing when we happened upon you on the roof there?
Security work? Oh, I was checking the systems, obviously.
Safeguarding data.
Safeguarding, yeah, I like that. You speak my language there.
Thanks, Fitz.
What's your Fitz? You speak my language, Fitz. Yes, I was safeguarding the data, doing a wireless backup to an off-site facility where it could be safe and very lucrative for me. Seems that there are many people who want that data, and so I gave it to them.
I'm not sure what skill I need to roll, but do I realize the bullshit?
Empathy.
Empathy?
Do you?
I rolled a 1.
No.
No.
You're naive as hell.
So you're
You've been homeschooled too long.
I have
Yes.
been homeschooled too long, though I was not homeschooled. All right. Well, hopefully, if you
Amazing.
did that backup, then you should still have copies of my research. I mean, it's not going to mean anything without my notebook, but hopefully, you'll have enough of it that I'll be able to get. I can't go back, can I? Fuck! I won't be able to finish. Damn it! My
Here's your
cat.
ice cream.
Your ice cream's gonna melt too, apparently.
Yeah, my
Right.
brain's just going everywhere too fast. So.
Is this where we're gonna end the first little chapter?
Yeah, we could
Flying
do
through
that.
the
Yeah.
That works
flying
great.
the helicopter.
I think this is a decent ending chapter. Do we arrive on said island or?
Yeah.
In the next one, probably.
Yeah, you'll get there at the beginning of the next
This
one.
is so. The next session is next Saturday.
Yeah, same bat.
Okay.
time.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Do you guys both want to keep playing? I just have to ask to make sure no one drops out. But this seems like a fun system, a fun campaign that you want to keep going on in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay, great.
Is this the same Will we played with last time?
No.
No, different Will. All
Because
right.
it kind of sounds like it, but
Yeah.
you are in
Just a
Nebraska,
little
are
thing.
you, Will?
Nope.
No.
All right, different Will. All right.
Alrighty, have a good night, you two.
Thanks, guys.
Night, guys.
Yeah,
Bye.
thanks. See you.
Alright, they're both gone. So, for us, from next week on, I wanted this to be all remote. It's just easier for us. It's less noisy, so Amy and the kids can sleep better.
Yeah.
If you
Is
need
it
help,
going to be through this system?
yes, Discord.
Do I have to download that onto my laptop, phone? How does it work?
You can go to Discord. Let me check real quick. I think it's discord.com.
Brian conveniently just got a graphic designer monitor in the office.
You can go to discord.com and just click open.
DISCORD?
Yes. And click open in browser. You don't even have to download anything if you don't want to.
Oh my god, I realized I can be walking on the treadmill while we're doing this.
Yeah. Just a laptop. There's a phone app too if you want to just do it that way. It's called
No,
Discord.
it's just this is when I normally do my walking, so it goes kicks my ass the weekend challenges because I take like 3 hours off of work.
Okay.
And
Well, there you go.
I just realized like, which I mean, don't get me wrong, it's worth it, but I just realized I will no longer be having to choose. This is weird. This thread. When you're like, oh, I have remnant thread, let me use it for, but there's a reason it's a remnant thread.
Because it's kind of lame.
Yeah, it's not knitting
Alright.
So yeah, if you need any help
I
with
did not
getting Discord
realize-
working, you can feel
Okay.
free to give me a call or a text or whatever, and I'll help you
Yeah.
out.
Currently nailing a tech guy, so.
Oh, I'm sure you'll be fine.
I'm not. So,
Well, I'm not either, but I'm married to a tech guy. Ah. But we'll see after I get Discord, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but, yeah, I can get it up and running.